the impeccable credibility, professionalism, and business savviness of BusinessDay. If you really mean business in Nigeria, start your day with BusinessDay.
BusinessDay is West Africa's leading provider of business intelligence and information, delivering premium content across diversified media platforms, including online, mobile, and print. Since its inception in 2001 with a weekly newspaper production, BusinessDay has expanded its reach to provide exclusive content accessible through print, mobile, and online channels. At BusinessDay, our mission is clear: to be the foremost provider of business and financial content, empowering readers to make informed decisions in Nigeria and Africa. Since our establishment, we have been committed to delivering insightful, relevant, and accurate information about Nigeria's business and finance environment, while contextualizing the impact of global events. We monitor the stock market, analyze the companies driving it, and report on government policies and their economic implications. From decoding market trends to dissecting economic shifts, we offer actionable investment ideas and serve as a compass for decision-makers navigating complexity. Beyond headlines, BusinessDay fosters discussions on critical economic issues through impactful conferences and events. These platforms bring industry leaders together to share narratives that drive innovation and spark meaningful dialogues. Our events galvanize connections, bridging the gap between inspiration and achievement. For businesses seeking visibility, our strong digital presence offers unparalleled opportunities, with millions of followers across social media and a dynamic website attracting visitors from within and outside Nigeria. BusinessDay is the ideal platform to boost visibility for your products and services. If you're looking for in-depth analysis and expert opinions on Nigeria and Africa's business landscape, BusinessDay is your guide.
Good morning. It's a beautiful Thursday morning, and you're tuned into the Business Morning Live show on BusinessDay Television. And as usual, we've got a packed morning ahead. We're going to be starting off with the morning news. We then move to the newspaper review. We'll bring you the conversations on the show and wrap up with the social listening segment. We'll go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll bring you the morning news. Just stay with us. Welcome to the BusinessDay Business Life News. I am Deborah Eze. Now let's see what's making headlines. Naira strengthens as reserves its 18-year high of $53.11 billion. Nigeria slips 12 places in global poorest economies ranking. Federal government cuts foreign scholarships, unveils 365 million naira National Research Prize. And U.S. pauses immigrant visa appointment worldwide. Now let's begin the news. The Naira strengthened further on Wednesday as improved dollar liquidity coincided with a sharp rise in Nigeria's external reserves. At the Nigerian foreign exchange market, the Naira appreciated by 3.99 to 1,343 Naira 59 kobo per dollar from 1,346 Naira 98 kobo on Monday. In the prior market, it remained at about 1,405 Naira to a dollar. Nigeria's gross external reserves rose $53.11 billion as of August 24th, the highest level in 18 years, and a 28.85% increase from $41.22 billion a year earlier. The last comparable level was $53.34 billion US dollars recorded in December 2008. Analysts attribute the stronger reserve position to higher crude oil revenues, recovering oil production, increased capital inflows, improved net exports, and stronger remittances. United Capital estimates that the current reserves could cover more than 10 months of import. The stronger external buffer gives the CBN greater capacity to support FX market stability and could provide further room for naira appreciation, provided the positive inflow trends are sustained. And moving on, Nigeria has fallen 12 places in the 2026 ranking of the world's poorest economies, highlighting the continued gap between improving macroeconomic indicators and household welfare. The country ranks 68th out of 70 economies in 2026 ranking, according to strategy and reflecting the persistent impact of high poverty, weak purchasing power, and elevated living costs. The development comes despite recent improvements in inflation, exchange rate stability, and economic growth. Nigeria's GDP expanded 3.89% year-on-year in fourth quarter 2026, but benefits of that growth have yet to translate into significant improvement in living standards. Strategy and estimate that Nigeria's poverty rate will remain around 63% in 2026, while food, housing, and energy costs continue to weigh heavily on households. The ranking underscores a key challenge for Nigeria's economic reforms. Stabilizing the economy is one thing, ensuring that households actually feel the recovery is another. And in other news, the federal government says it will end foreign scholarship arrangements it considers wasteful and redirect resources towards strengthening Nigerian tertiary institutions, research, and innovation. Education Minister Maruf Tunji Alausa said the review of the bilateral education agreement program is aimed at getting better value from public spending, particularly where the same courses are already available in Nigerian institutions. Existing scholarship beneficiaries will, however, be allowed to complete their studies. As part of the new direction, the government has introduced the Tertiary Institutions National Laureate Prize, with an annual prize pool of about 365 million naira for outstanding undergraduate, master's, and doctoral research, as well as innovations with commercial, industrial, or national development potential. The initiative will also recognize research in areas including engineering and technology, medicine, agriculture, law, and teaching innovation, with the government seeking to move Nigerian academic research from classroom into commercially viable solutions and enterprises. And so when the news, the United States has temporarily paused immigrant visa appointment at its embassies and consulates worldwide as the Trump administration intensifies its immigration crackdown. The State Department says the pause is linked to a global training program for consular officers aimed at strengthening how they assess whether visa applicants could become dependent on U.S. public benefits under the country's public charge rules. Applicants who already had interviews scheduled have been rescheduled, but the State Department has not provided a date for when normal appointments will resume. The pause specifically affects immigrant visas, including visas for people seeking permanent residence, and does not automatically suspend tourists, students, or other non-immigrant visa processing. The move comes days after a federal judge struck down a separate Trump administration policy that had suspended immigrant visa issuance for nationals of 75 countries, ruling that the State Department had exceeded its authority. And that does it this morning on the news. Up next is the newspaper review. Just stay with us.
This is Business Week, a weekly program brought to you by BusinessDay Television.
And we're live from Lagos, the nation's commercial capital, bringing you the latest insight into the stories that matter for business and the economy. I am Deborah Eze.
Onyeka Valentine.
I am Destiny Momo.
My name is Elizabeth Musef.
When you think of business, think no more, think Business Day.
I know that Business Day television will go places. It is the next big thing that will happen to the Nigerian media sector without a shade of doubt.
This is Business Week, a weekly program brought to you by BusinessDay Television.
And we're live from Lagos, the nation's commercial capital, bringing you the latest insight into the stories that matter for business and the economy. I am Deborah Eze.
Onyeka Valentine.
I am Destiny Momo.
My name is Elizabeth Musef.
When you think of business, think no more, think Business Day.
I know that Business Day television will go places. It is the next big thing that will happen to the Nigerian media sector without a shade of doubt.
This is Business Week, a weekly program brought to you by BusinessDay Television.
And we're live from Lagos, the nation's commercial capital, bringing you the latest insight into the stories that matter for business and the economy. I am Deborah Eze.
Onyeka Valentine.
I am Destiny Momo.
My name is Elizabeth Musef.
When you think of business, think no more, think Business Day.
I know that Business Day television will go places. It is the next big thing that will happen to the Nigerian media sector without a shade of doubt.
For 25 years, Business Day has delivered credible journalism, intelligent analysis, and decision-shaping insights to Nigeria and Africa's business community. Introducing Africa's first AI-integrated website, enhanced with powerful new capabilities. At the heart of the new platform is the AI-enabled chatbot, built to help you navigate stories faster, ask questions, get summaries, and access deeper context instantly. Text-to-speech functionality, allowing you to listen to articles on the go.
The Murtala Muhammad International Airport, Lagos, has recorded an 11.8% growth in air traffic.
Whether you're commuting, driving, or multitasking, Business Day now moves with you. And with our new language translation feature, our journalism becomes even more accessible. You can select your preferred language, thereby expanding reach across diverse audiences in Nigeria, Africa, and beyond. This innovation reinforces our commitment to being not just a news platform, but also a smart, accessible, and future-ready business intelligence hub. As we celebrate 25 years of impact, we step confidently into the future, powered by technology, driven by credibility, and focused on you. Visit the new Business Day website today and experience the future of news. For 25 years.
Looking for fast and reliable answers to your business and economic questions? Meet SIA, Business Day's Strategic Intelligence Assistant, Nigeria's first AI-powered news chatbot. Simply visit businessday.ng, click the SIA chat icon, and ask your question in plain language. Whether it's inflation, market trends, company insights, government policies, or personal finance, SEER delivers instant answers powered by Business Day's trusted journalism. Smarter insights, faster decisions. Visit businessday.ng today and discover the future of business intelligence with SEER. Looking for fast and reliable answers to your business and economic questions? Meet SEER, Business Day's strategic intelligence assistant, Nigeria's first AI-powered news chatbot. Simply visit businessday.ng, click the SEER chat icon, and ask your question in plain language. Whether it's inflation, market trends, company insights, government policies, or personal finance, SEER delivers instant answers powered by Business Day's trusted journalism. Smarter insights, faster decisions. Visit businessday.ng today and discover the future of business intelligence with SEER.
Pleasure of welcoming great supporters and friends from INMA. He's the president, and then of course L. Wilkinson, and then Doreen is heading the work in Africa.
Honored that you're hosting us today. We look forward to a positive exchange of ideas and strategies to make our industry better. With me is Al Wilkinson. He's President and Executive Director of International News Media Association. All the way from Ghana. And we're happy to have him here. I'll let him tell you guys more about him and why he's here.
I would leave you with the idea about Business Day. No platform can take it. No AI can replicate it. No competitor can buy it. So here's a little advice. Defend it. Build it. Invest in it. Because folks, the decade ahead is going to belong to news organizations that are unmistakably themselves. They're not boring. They're not neutral. Who are you? Answer that question. You'll figure out the next one. Thanks a lot.
Welcome back. This is the newspaper review segment where we explore the major stories making headlines across the nation's newspaper. I am Deborah Eze, and of course joining me to analyze the headlines this morning is
Joshua Bassi. Good morning, viewers.
Good morning, Joshua Bassi. It's good to have you on the other end of the studio. And of course, we're going to be analyzing the papers. We're going to be moving from the Business Day newspaper down to the Guardian, Punch newspaper, and then we'll wrap up with the cartoon of the day. So let's now take a look at what the Business Day newspaper is saying this morning. The story on the front page of the paper reads, New terror corridor puts food supply at risk. New terror corridor puts food supply at risk. And the riders to that story, how Bogu Forest Belt emerge as terrorism epicenter, fuels sixth consecutive rise in food inflation. And that is the big story on the front page of the Business Day newspaper this morning. And at the lower corner of the Business Day newspaper, we have how one terrorist group cornered 7 billion naira from Nigerians' kidnap economy. And that story is on page 30. And also we have US visa US visa freeze puts Nigerian spouses, asylum seekers in limbo, and that is on page 30. And also, Nigeria wants solar to deliver returns, not just more megawatts, and that is on page 30. And how Zimbabwe went from hyperinflation to one of Africa's lowest inflation rates. And you can find that story on page 31 of the Business Day newspaper. Mr. Bassi, it is really a big story this morning on the Business Day newspaper, and it is touching an important part that we usually talk about, which is the food supply here in Nigeria. So what do you think about this, about the big story on the paper?
Yeah, good story. Big story, really, if you ask me. You know, it's touching on everybody because everybody eats, right? And we cannot really, as a nation, we need to, of course, also feed ourselves. And so when we have a situation where food supply is being seriously threatened, or food production is being seriously threatened, it raises a lot of concern, both for the government and, of course, the citizens. But this is coming as a result of increasing insecurity situation around the country, particularly around the region where the story is talking about, Niger State, Boku local government in particular, which has become the epicenter of terrorist activities in recent years. Or yeah, I would say in recent years, of course, also spreading to Kwara State, and all of that area, of that region. So it's something that we should be, worried about, given that a nation that cannot feed itself, I mean, you cannot really call yourself a nation if you cannot feed yourself. But so it will seem as if the more government, tries to deal with this issue of insecurity, the more brazen, the more audacious the terrorists themselves, become. And so you can see it now. I mean, because food inflation is a major concern as far as even the inflation is concerned. Because food inflation actually is one that is even pushing the inflation, situation even higher in the country. So it's something that government need to actually sit down and then maybe draw up a new strategy on how to deal with the situation around the country. Only last week, around I think Kwara State as well. No, I mean Boku, the Boku local government actually in the Niger State. Over 600 people were reportedly, adopted. That figure has not been officially confirmed, but from the video that we have seen circulating, or that people are quoting 600 people. And if that's true, I mean, it would obviously be the largest, ever in Nigeria's history of adoption. Or if that's true, like I said, it has not been confirmed. President Tinubu has ordered security operatives to get in and see how they can rescue. But the figure actually is not confirmed. But obviously, there was adoption. A large number of people were adopted in Boku, in Niger State. So, I mean, terrorists have taken over that part of the country. Not only are they adopting people, and of course, like we have reported in that story, even food production. Farmers are not longer able to go to their farms safely, and for those who want to go, they are being demanded to pay some levy. So it's as if the terrorists are the one in charge. Clearly, because they are demanding you pay levy before you can access your farm, all of that. So a lot of people have, actually moved out of their part of their community, and then farmers have also left, and then, bringing about the, threat to food production, and of course, increasing hunger that we might face as a result of a food shortage, because we cannot produce. Of course, there will be no food too, and we cannot depend solely on imported food to be able to, run a country like ours. I mean, especially a country with a very large population of over 200 million people, 230 million, 240 million. We quote those figures, though estimatedly anyway. You know, so it's something that raises a lot of concern and then calls to question. I know that the current administration, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has you know, continued to increase budgetary allocation to security, but unfortunately, it doesn't look as if you know, we have achieved a whole lot. This not to say, however, that nothing has been done. We must also commend this the military and other security agencies. They've done their, I think they're doing their best. You know, perhaps it would have been worse if the president wasn't probably allocating as much as we are now seeing, the increasing budgetary allocations since he came into power. But a lot more still needs to be done. I mean, especially as we're looking at food security. You know, it's something
the fact that we are also seeing like I think I'll call it like a progression of a story. How one terrorist group cornered 7 billion naira,
as much as that, from
Nigeria's kidnap economy. I think I saw a mini documentary on the hierarchy that these terrorists actually have. It's a full-blown operation, like a full-blown organization. They have hierarchies. They have, you know, people who will succeed. The current, there's a name they call them. It's at the top of my head, but I can't remember right now. There's a name they call their current leaders, and it's like they have different groups, different communities where they actually, like, you know, communicate. And it's really shocking to see that the amount of money that this terrorist group have actually cornered is 7 billion naira. So that's why I do not agree sometimes when, you know, we say, oh, true, the military are trying their best, but I don't think they're doing enough. Because it seems like now we can see that, oh, there is a bit, it's not really as excessive as it was 2 months ago. But in my head, I just believe that they are not doing enough.
Yeah, I mean, of course, we can say they're not doing enough, so we expect them to do more, right? But it's not to say they're not doing anything at all. And like I said, budgetary allocation to defense, as you know, we've seen incremental, you know, trajectory in what it is that the government has allocated to them in the last 3 years or so. So, yes, they need to do more.
Yeah.
Because it takes a lot actually to be able to, you know, tame these people. Don't forget that, you know, there's an allegation that they have some, you know, financiers from outside the country, because it's you know, terrorism is a global thing, you know, and there's a connection between one terrorist group and the other, and then their sponsors, you know, outside the country, within the country, and it is the reason why a lot of people will say, look, I mean, don't just go after the terrorists themselves, also go after their sponsor, their financiers, because if you cut off the financing, of course, you take some energy, you know, out of them.
But do we know
because
financiers?
Yeah, of course. I mean, with intelligence that is available to the government,
yeah.
I mean, that of course.
Because I think the strategy that they use is mass abduction, and then you request for ransom.
The ransom, yeah. And apart from the ransom that they demand from victims of kidnapping, of course. I mean, there are financiers, you know, that are sponsors of these people within and outside the country. This much has been said, and of course, again, there was a time a list of the terrorists, you know, financiers were released, and so it is for the government to do more in actually, you know, going after their sponsors and getting their sponsors, you know, prosecuted. So if you cut off finance, you know, the channel of, you know, financing terrorism to a very large extent, you will be able to, you know, deal with them. But if you do not deal with sponsors, you know, and then you be able to, you can try, but you may not be able to end terrorism, you know, because it's a global issue, which is the reason why we must also give kudos to the fact that the United States, you know, government is working in collaboration with the Nigerian government to see how they can, deal with it internally, and of course even international around internationally. So, but there is the need to also deal with the issue of financing, and as much as government is also, getting the our security personnel, equip them, which is why I must also add this, the recent increase in the take-home pay of the military personnel is also commendable, because if you are to fight these people with very sophisticated weapons, I mean, and you put your life on the line for the nation, there should be some way whereby the government is also encouraging the soldiers, to do their best. So the recent increase in the salary or in the allowances, the pay to military personnel is a way also of encouraging them. So more of that can be done.
Right. All right. One other story that I would like us to touch on the Business Day newspaper before we move on is the energy sector, where Nigeria wants solar to deliver returns, not just more megawatts. And the writer there reads, "Ends free electricity era for universities and hospitals." Do you want to chip in there?
Yeah, people are actually gradually moving out of the national grid and then, getting into the solar system to be able to power their operations. And of course, there are some, and of course, solar panel and all the components are, in fact, we here are getting cheaper, and so we might see more people move, actually dropping a national grid and then getting into the alternative, which is the other alternative, which is power, solar, to be able to power the operation. It's also good even for tertiary institutions, universities, where, of course, you need to keep the laboratory, running, to be able to do either you run some kind of a test, and whether even for hospitals and all of that. So it's a good thing. If the national grid is not reliable and that there's an alternative, which is solar, I think it's only natural that for those who can afford, we'll be able to migrate to that and then keep the operations going rather than relying on national grid, which is not reliable anyway. So it's something that
is
something that we should all be looking forward to. I mean, for those who have the capacity anyway to be able to get a solar system installed around their operations.
Yeah. All right. That's all for on the Business Day newspaper. If you want to get a hack of the stories, you can grab yourself a copy or visit the website at www.businessday.ng for more stories. Let's now move to the Guardian newspaper. Now, the big story on the Guardian reads, "Design flaws in new roads, public facilities leave PWDs stranded." Design flaws in new roads, public facilities leave PWDs stranded. And that is on page 6. And at the top of the Guardian newspaper, we have APC to reshuffle campaign council over pressure from North and the Southeast. And that is on page 3. And Southern Middle Belt leaders reject federal government's livestock scheme. And that is on page 9. EFCC recovered over $5 million cash assets in 3 years, says Olu Koyede. And that is on page 3. And also we have Atiku on subsidy as presidency, challenges funding, cites 19.1 trillion naira burden. And you can get that on page 6. An expert seeks FCCP's intervention as fan defense e-hailing service ban. And that is on page 22. Also, federal government launches $1 billion scheme to support poor households, and that is on page 9. And federal government unveils 365 million naira prize for outstanding academic research and innovation, and that is page 8. And group condemns fresh petrol price hike, demands audit of refinery funds, and that is on page 5. So let's talk about the I think this design flaw in new roads, public facility leaves PWDs stranded. Please, let's hear your thought on that.
Okay, very interesting story, I must say, because oftentimes we overlook and neglect those living with disabilities. And so we just focus on ourselves, and then they are comfortable without taking them into consideration in what we do, even in policy, in designing policy, in implementing policy. You know, we kind of behave as if they don't exist, whereas they exist, and they exist, and the fact that they have one form of disability or the other doesn't, exclude them. Doesn't mean that they don't have the right, to the things that we who are not deformed or who do not have disability in any way, those rights that we have, they also have the right. Their rights are also guaranteed under or in the Constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999 as amended. So whatever it is that we do, I mean, people do, whether it is policy, whether it is program, whatever it is done, whether at the federal level or at the state level, at the local government level, I mean, they should also be taken into consideration. And so I like the fact that the Guardian is bringing up this story, I mean, to be able to highlight what the people living with disability go through. I mean, whether in accessing public facilities or maybe, or roads and what have you. If you go into some climes, you discover that if you are accessing public building, I mean, there is of course, beginning to embrace that there's a ramp, knowing fully well that these people cannot, actually walk. So there's a ramp that maybe if they sit on their, wheelchair, that you can just roll them in. If you go to banks, all of these things are supposed to be taken into consideration. If you are designing a route, right, you must also take into consideration that there are people who are living with one form of disability or the other. So maybe there should be a path, for them. Because knowing fully well that they cannot, maybe struggle the way those of us who have the way we do. So just, take them into consideration. If you are, for instance, public, bus, if they are getting on board public transportation, it should be designed, and of course, this is done in some other part of the world. It should be designed in such a way that they can, if for instance, those of them who are in wheelchair, they can roll their wheelchair right into the public bus, and so it's built in such a way, it's low enough for them to be able to roll in what they are sitting on, So, but the guidance is highlighting the fact that in this part of the world, these flaws are there in our public buildings. These flaws are there on our road design and all of that. And it just called attention to the fact that we need to also remember that we have these people living with us, and we need to take them.
50% of Nigerians actually live with disabilities.
We need to take them into consideration in designing roads, in designing public building, in designing even the public bus. For instance, the BRT bus, for instance, that we have in Lagos. You should be able to find a way to, even if it means you could, this one now, design one that's specifically meant for people living with one form of disability or the other, who cannot, there are times, if you get around the BRT buses, there are times you go there, the whole place is jam-packed because of, so whenever the buses arrive, and people rush to, they cannot. So if you have one that is meant for them, of course they will, just on their own go in, then get on board and go to where they want to go.
Right. And okay.
I think there's another story that we should also talk about. The APC
reshuffle campaign console.
Yeah. Pressure from Northeast and Southeast. This issue, after the APC released their presidential election campaign council. There was a lot of backlash, outrage. Some people felt that there are certain people who should not have been included in the campaign council in the first place. Some should not. Some should have been added. So there were people felt, look, I mean, some part of the country, were neglected. I remember, for instance, I think the deputy speaker of the House of Representatives was not included. He's from the Southeast. And if you look at, for instance, the composition of government today, I mean, you can say that the highest ranking personality from the Southeast, the deputy speaker of the House of Representative, I think Benjamin Kalu, right?
Yes.
So he was not part of it, and so people felt that how could you leave out someone like that? So not just all those issues, but it's an APC thing anyway. Again, it wasn't surprising that the presidency, said they were going to review it, and so if they're reviewing it to be able to just capture all interests, I think it's good for them, so that no region, either the Southeast or the North, is fell neglected.
Left behind. All right. Speaking about on Twitter, it has been trending the fund that EFCC recovered over 500 million US dollars in cash and also assets for 3 years. Netizens, especially the Gen they've been saying things like, can I send you my account number so you can borrow me some? And I pay back in maybe 2 years time, because at the end of the day, some of these monies, they don't get to be accounted for at the end of the day.
A major concern.
That's a major concern.
A major concern.
And that's why the Gen Zs are coming out to actually say, or the netizens in general coming out to plead with the EFCC to actually share the money across board. Maybe
But it's a lot of money.
It's a whole lot of money.
But if you consider the level of corruption in Nigeria, I would say that this money recovered by the FCC is not even enough. It's not even enough because we've seen, a situation where some individuals are, an individual with allegation of, fraud of individual who have served in government, allegation of fraud of as much as 6 billion for an individual. So we've seen that. So for me, it's a lot of money actually, but still, I still feel that this is even not enough.
Yeah.
If the EFCC, digs deeper and is allowed to do its job without being inflamed, because what I'm saying, if EFCC is allowed to do its job without being influenced, a lot more can be recovered. And I'm saying this because we've seen individuals that the EFCC itself, in fact, we've seen individuals where even the EFCC chairman himself said, look, if I don't get this person prosecuted, if I don't jail this person, I will resign. And we've seen such people, gone back to the APC and even their candidate in the 2027 election that is coming. So we've seen the EFCC, just mellow down, and the zeal with which the EFCC, was pursuing some of those cases, we've seen, just whittle down. That's why I'm saying that if the EFCC is allowed to do its job, dig deeper, it can recover more than this from those who have served in public offices at one time or the other in this country.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, let's move to the Punch newspaper. The big story on the Punch newspaper: 2027 politics. Atiku Tinubu face-off widens over subsidy and $16 billion US power projects, and that is on page 2. The writer to that story reads: Presidency, APC fire back at Atiku over subsidy U-turn, thieves claim. Another rider, a restored targeted petrol subsidy boosts Nigeria's purchasing power. Atiku insists again. An Atiku subsidy plan, desperation of the most peaceful kind. And that's come from the presidency. APC challenge ex-VP to prove thieves' claim in court. Now, the top of the Punch newspaper, we have EFCC offers 5% reward for leads on stolen assets abroad. And that is on page 3. And also, federal government holds foreign scholarships, redirect funds home, and that is also on page 3. Ocean Poll, security personnel protest on paid duty allowances. That is on page 29. 2027 polls, INEC unveils Governor's Assembly candidate list Saturday, and that is also on page 29. And below the Punch newspaper, we have 160 dead, 647 missing in Nepal, Tibet flood. And also, Dangote threatens to export petrol as imports rise, and that is on page 19. 5-month-old baby mother rescued from Lagos Canal, and that is on page 5. And finally, on the Punch newspaper, farmer herders crisis, Southern Middle Belt leaders reject federal government ranches, and that is on page 30. The 2027 political, I'm sure this is also one conversation that will be had on Reflections Nigeria, because Atiku has come out to say he's going to take out. We had this conversation on Monday. Myself and Mohammed is going to take out subsidy, and we balanced and checked the pros and the cons of the fact that subsidy was removed in 2023 and where we are now, and then going back to removing subsidy. But let me hear your own thought about it. Do you actually even think, let's talk about Atiku now, do you think it's a good idea to want to go back to subsidy, or do you think Atiku is just prying on the emotions of Nigerians because of how we feel about subsidy, because of how we feel about our purchasing power? Remember, the president actually said he's going to reduce our purchasing power, which was one of the things that Nigerians have been eating on since the whole reforms is not reflecting to the pocket. So do you think Atiku is just taking advantage of the fact that a policy that was put out there, Nigerians are not really happy about it?
Yeah, I mean, since Atiku made a U-turn, as it were, I mean, when he said that it was going to bring back subsidy, there's been a back and forth, an argument between his team and, of course, the presidency. But, in 2022, 2023, 2022, 2023, the campaign leading to the election in 2023, we note, of course, we saw that all the presidential and major presidential candidates said they were going to remove a subsidy. But Tinubu came, of course, he won the election. He came on the first day of his inauguration. He made up the popular pronouncement, popular subsidy gone. Some have said that, look, the manner in which the president made that pronouncement and removed subsidy was not good, and what he needed to do was to do a gradual, that some have said a gradual process would have been better. There are some who have said, you could have first and foremost put some cushioning measures in place so that by the time you remove subsidy, people will not feel the impact as much as they felt from 2023 even till now. Clearly, it's also surprising because Atiku himself had also said that he will remove fuel subsidy. But to see him again coming now to say that he will not, I mean, is something that we are taken aback. So again, we've also seen after the presidency responded and said that he does not understand simple economics, and that it doesn't make sense for him to say that he wants to remove. We also seen his one of his spokespersons saying that Atiku will remove subsidy and then later he will bring it back. So it doesn't really, for me, they said so. It doesn't really make sense. So if you want to remove subsidy, of course, if you say you want to remove subsidy, when you win the election in 2027, you stay with that. I will remove it, and then you continue to defend your position as to why you want to remove it. I mean, to this back and forth, it will remove, and after some time we will not. It will bring it. It will bring it back. It doesn't. For me, it doesn't really. I think that Atiku he's been contesting presidency since 1990. Trying to become Nigeria president in 1993, and so I think perhaps 2027 might just be his last take on it. So he's just doing everything that he just like you said, maybe playing on the emotions
of Nigerians,
just to see if we can win. Because I don't see any
reason why
you're going back and forth, and whether you are going to. But I think that the controversy, and the argument, the debates between the article ADC and the ruling party APC, as far as the subsidy is concerned, will continue. The election, campaign has started, and so we're going to see more of this. You kick me, I kick you. You box me, I box you. We are going to see more of it until the election proper on the January. Is it January 16th?
January 16th. Yeah.
16. So
16th.
It's not surprising what's going on. So we are in election time, or we are in campaign time. So we'll see more of this.
Right.
The other time I saw a story where an article challenged because the president was saying, look, during your time, there was 16 billion naira that was spent on power project that without anything to show for it. He has challenged them. So, okay, if you have evidence, arrest me. So we are going to see more of this thing. Nigerian politicians, they know how to throw jabs. Rather than actually focusing on issues. Sometimes you see them, just attacking themselves, attacking personality. So that's what we're going to see from now till the election proper.
Yeah,
we'll see more of these things.
All right, let's quickly move to the Vanguard newspaper, and the big story on the Vanguard: NFF president, all the board members resign. NFF presidents, all the board members resign. We'll just quickly run through the Vanguard. And also we have federal government records 2.18 trillion naira fiscal deficit in third quarter of 2025. And also, despite fall in crude price, petrol hit 1,212 naira per litre, and federal government gives condition to concessionaire on Bini Asaba Highway. And also, US holds all immigrant visa applications amid tightening restrictions. If you want to get a hold of all that story, you can get yourself the Vanguard newspaper. But now let's wrap up with the cartoon of the day. The cartoon of the very interesting one this morning. We have the opposition parties working together for the incumbent party. And we can see the NDC, which is Peter Obi, APC, it's a question mark, absent. ADC, that is Amechi, and AAC, that's Showore. And it's a debate. And we can see how AAC is throwing accusations. They have a stone in hand representing accusations, how they actually throwing accusations at each other and in alignment with the incumbents.
Interesting cartoon. Of course, this depicts what happened on, I think it was on Monday, right?
Yeah.
On Monday at the NBA conference in Port Harcourt.
Yes.
Where Showore and Amechi were throwing
jabs at each other
themselves, and then of course so clearly, of course, the APC presidential candidate, who is also the sitting president, was not at that event.
Yeah.
And so we had NDC presidential candidate Peter Obi. We had ADC vice presidential candidate, that's Amechi. Of course, we have AAC presidential candidate, that's Showore. So the three of them were there, and of course, while they're at the NBA conference, they were just hitting themselves. And so it's like okay, so the incumbent who was not there, so of course you should be sitting down and laughing at them. So it's like working for. So just like, because particularly Showore was telling Amechi, you build a real line that got to nowhere, spend money. I said, if you want to, you can't win. So Amechi was saying, you can't win. I mean, Showore, you can't win. I said, you said you can't win. So clearly it means that the person who's going to win is just sitting down and laughing at them. So,
amazing cartoon we have right there. But thank you for joining us in the studio this morning, Mr. Bassi, for the newspaper review. We really appreciate your time. And that is all that we can take this morning on the newspaper review segment. Up next is our conversations on the Business Morning. Just stay with us.
For 25 years, Business Day has delivered credible journalism, intelligent analysis, and decision-shaping insights to Nigeria and Africa's business community. Introducing Africa's first AI-integrated website, enhanced with powerful new capabilities. At the heart of the new platform is the AI-enabled chatbot, built to help you navigate stories faster, ask questions, get summaries, and access deeper context instantly. Text-to-speech functionality, allowing you to listen to articles on the go.
The Murtala Muhammad International Airport, Lagos, has recorded an 11.8% growth in air traffic.
Whether you're commuting, driving, or multitasking, Business Day now moves with you. And with our new language translation feature, our journalism becomes even more accessible. You can select your preferred language, thereby expanding reach across diverse audiences in Nigeria, Africa, and beyond. This innovation reinforces our commitment to being not just a news platform, but also a smart, accessible, and future-ready business intelligence hub. As we celebrate 25 years of impact, we step confidently into the future, powered by technology, driven by credibility, and focused on you. Visit the new Business Day website today and experience the future of news. For 25 years, Business Day has delivered credible journalism, intelligent analysis, and decision-shaping insights to Nigeria and Africa's business community. Introducing Africa's first AI-integrated website, enhanced with powerful new capabilities. At the heart of the new platform is the AI-enabled chatbot, built to help you navigate stories faster, ask questions, get summaries, and access deeper context instantly. Text-to-speech functionality, allowing you to listen to articles on the go.
The Murtala Muhammad International Airport, Lagos, has recorded an 11.8% growth in air traffic.
Whether you're commuting, driving, or multitasking, Business Day now moves with you. And with our new language translation feature, our journalism becomes even more accessible. You can select your preferred language, thereby expanding reach across diverse audiences in Nigeria, Africa, and beyond. This innovation reinforces our commitment to being not just a news platform, but also a smart, accessible, and future-ready business intelligence hub. As we celebrate 25 years of impact, we step confidently into the future, powered by technology, driven by credibility, and focused on you. Visit the new Business Day website today and experience the future of news. For 25 years, Business Day has delivered credible journalism, intelligent analysis, and decision-shaping insights to Nigeria and Africa's business community. Introducing Africa's first AI-integrated website, enhanced with powerful new capabilities. At the heart of the new platform is the AI-enabled chatbot, built to help you navigate stories faster, ask questions, get summaries, and access deeper context instantly. Text-to-speech functionality, allowing you to listen to articles on the go.
The Murtala Muhammad International Airport, Lagos, has recorded an 11.8% growth in air traffic.
Whether you're commuting, driving, or multitasking, Business Day now moves with you. And with our new language translation feature, our journalism becomes even more accessible. You can select your preferred language, thereby expanding reach across diverse audiences in Nigeria, Africa, and beyond. This innovation reinforces our commitment to being not just a news platform, but also a smart, accessible, and future-ready business intelligence hub. As we celebrate
This is Business Week, a weekly program brought to you by Business Day Television.
And we're live from Lagos, the nation's commercial capital, bringing you the latest insight into the stories that matter for business and the economy. I am Deborah Eze.
Onyeka Valentine.
I am Destiny Momo.
My name is Elizabeth Musef.
When you think of business, think no more, think Business Day.
I know that Business Day Television will go places. It is the next big thing that will happen to the Nigerian media sector without a shade of doubt.
This is Business Week, a weekly program brought to you by BusinessDay Television.
And we're live from Lagos, the nation's commercial capital, bringing you the latest insight into the stories that matter for business and the economy. I am Deborah Eze.
Onyeka Valentine.
I am Destiny Momo.
My name is Elizabeth Moses.
When you think of business, think no more, think Business Day.
I know that Business Day television will go places. It is the next big thing that will happen to the Nigerian media sector without a shade of doubt.
Attention business leaders. Want to make informed decisions? Join the ranks of the best with Premium Business Day. Access in-depth analysis and expert opinions to stay ahead. Subscribe now at premium.businessday.ng and unlock premium content. Plus, you get 50% off your first subscription. Don't miss out. Make smarter choices and seize new opportunities. Sign up now and elevate your business game. Visit premium.businessday.ng today.
Looking for fast and reliable answers to your business and economic questions? Meet SIA, Business Day's Strategic Intelligence Assistant, Nigeria's first AI-powered news chatbot. Simply visit businessday.ng, click the SIA chat icon, and ask your question in plain language. Whether it's inflation, market trends, company insights, government policies, or personal finance, SIA delivers instant answers powered by Business Day's trusted journalism. Smarter insights, faster decisions. Visit businessday.ng today and discover the future of business intelligence with SIA.
Thank you for joining us in the studio this morning. Of course, welcome back to the Business Morning Live Show right here on Business Day Television. I am Deborah Eze. Now let's move to our topics of conversation this morning. We're examining personal branding to profit, monetizing your skills in Nigeria's creator economy. Now, the creator economy is growing rapidly, but for many Nigerians, the challenge is no longer simply creating content or building an audience. It is turning visibility into sustainable income. While brand partnerships remain an important revenue stream, creators are increasingly exploring digital products, consulting, affiliate marketing services, and other ways to monetize their skills. Yet, having followers does not automatically translate into financial success. Creators also have to build trust, define their niche, understand their audience, negotiate with brands, and manage their income like a business. So, how can Nigerians turn their skills, knowledge, and personal brand into profitable and sustainable businesses? Joining us is Shomoye Caroline Oluwadamilola. She's a digital marketer, content creator, and an author. She's going to be discussing personal branding, skill monetization, and the opportunities within Nigeria's growing creator economy. Good morning. It's good to have you on the Business Morning Show. Good morning, Caroline. It's good to have you.
Good morning, Mrs. Deborah.
All right, now,
good morning.
Let's start off with personal branding. Explain to us what it really means to build a personal brand and why has it become such an important business asset today?
All right, personal branding is the intentional reputation a brands build around their business. It cuts across the value and the results that they are producing. And in this age now, personal branding is very important because it answers the question that, okay, when my name is pronounced, what do people know me for? And it is an important asset because now People want to buy from the brands that they know. People want to shop with the trending brand or a brand that has provided a value for a long time. So personal branding is very important now in this age, and it is not even only to influencers alone. It's a lawyer can be the personal brand, a consultant can be the personal brand, a doctor also can own their personal brand because it answers the question, what when my name is mentioned, what do people really know me for? Thank you.
All right. We understand that many people are creating content, but they're actually struggling to make money from it. Speak to us about where the disconnect between having an audience and actually generating income. Where's that disconnect?
All right, the disconnect is actually that people mistake attention for value. I can have the whole of attention. I can have 100,000 follower, but I can't. But such a person cannot answer the question: what do people know me for? So, a profitable personal brand should know how to bridge the gap between content, trust, problem, solution, and an offer. When a brand discovers a personal problem and they have a credible solution to it, monetization is the easiest thing, like will come easily. But if we mistake attention for value, some people have the large following, but they don't create value with their content. So once a person can bridge that gap between a problem, a solution, their content, gaining people's trust, and then creating an offer, such a person can begin to make a substantial amount gradually. Thank you.
So does someone need thousands or millions of followers, before they can actually monetize their personal brand, or can a smaller and highly engaged audience be more valuable?
Yeah, honestly, this question is very dicey, but I will answer this way. In the start, you really don't need the followers. As you said, a highly engaged audience is better than a passive follower of 100,000 followers, but these ones are just passive. They could have been followers that have been bought, or people that have even forgotten about you. Some of them don't even exist again. So the number of following is important in the long run, but when starting out, a highly engaged audience is far better and more important than anything. A person might have 2,000 followers, right? And maybe such a person is a consultant and he has 300 followers that are business owners that need your consulting service. So such person will be able to make money and even create more value for our audience than people that just have passive follow, people that just want to comment and laugh but will not take actions.
So for somebody actually starting today, how do you identify the skills or expertise that can become the foundation of a profitable personal brand?
Okay, for that, I would pick these three intersections. Number one, what do people need? That is demand. Number three, what can you offer? Number two, what can you offer? Number three, what are people willing to pay for? It is important that we create a demand because that is what economy is. Demand equals supply. If there is a demand, look, what do people need? Okay, let's pick a clothing brand. We know that now there's an influx of ready-to-wear brand. Now, like people are creating a lot of things. A creator can actually decide to, okay, when such a person has made a research, okay, I want to create only pants trouser, like people want pants trousers, only corporate professionals, they need pant trousers, especially on Wednesdays and Fridays. I mean native pant trousers, and such person creates a demand around it and also tell people the value that they are bringing. So when demand and expertise is together and people are willing to pay for the money, such a brand will be profitable in the long run.
Yeah, but you know that there are actually several ways to make money, and I'm speaking about brand partnership, affiliate marketing, even consulting, and selling products online, and also courses. So which of these monetization models do you think are more sustainable for Nigerian creators?
Okay, the most sustainable one for Nigerian creators are digital products, courses, affiliate marketing. I'll be very, very careful not to depend on brand ambassador, like brand influencing, because it is very, very unpredictable. And in fact, a lot of time people are always looking forward to brand. But how about you creating a course about what you already know? How about you creating a digital course, hosting them on Sailor, on Mainstack, and different platforms? How about creating courses? How about hosting a creators circle? Like people will surely come. But so for Nigerian creators, digital products, people are really sleeping on digital products and courses, and also affiliate marketing. People are really sleeping on that instead of wanting to chase the brand partnership. Brand partnership is very important. It creates credibility. But for a start, such courses, digital products can be explored while building the audience.
Let's talk about niche positioning now. How important is that? Do you think it's better for creators to specialize in one area or to build a personal brand around multiple interests and skills?
Okay, there's been a lot of conversations about niche creation, and that question is dicey. I would like to pick it in two ways. For a creator who is starting out, I would say niche creation should not be the first thing, but you can't create content around everything. Niche creation is important as you grow, so that is what how personal branding comes in. So that when they hear, okay, show me a girl, and they say, oh, she's a fashion influencer. When we hear Kiki, we know she's an actress and she's also an influencer. And when we hear such other names, but starting out, you can just choose three sectors to interchange, because people don't want to hear the same thing every time. Every time, hi, good morning, I'm a content creator. No, people don't want to hear the same thing repeatedly. Niche creation is very important as a creator grows, but that should not be the basis. When you start out, you should be able to be flexible so that you even know what your audience wants, so you can give it to them.
So let's speak about one of the challenge that creators face, which is pricing their services and also negotiating with brands. How should a creator determine what their work worth or what the worth of their work is?
Okay, a creator should determine their worth by, number one, knowing the value they create. There are a lot of things to consider. Your value creation. Another thing is the audience. Another thing is what goes into creating the content you are creating. You are doing, because it's not always easy creating content. Another thing is track record and the commercial outcome for the client, because trust me, if you have a large number of followings and your followers are active, you will generate a lot of money for the client. But in fact, that is even the least part of pricing. A creator can compare their price with other people's price, so that you will not overprice yourself out of the market or underprice yourself. But another more critical thing to look forward to in creating content is usage rights, exclusivity. How long can a brand use your content? Exclusivity, and also whitelisting. Like, whitelisting contains emailing and all, and also licensing and some additional deliverables. So a lot of things goes on into content creation. That is why a creator should liaise with other creators in their niche to know what they are charging. You have to put in the equipment, light, and everything into it, and one needs to be sure that you are not overpricing yourself or underpricing yourself. And
So
years of
with many
experience.
creators now, they depend heavily, they depend heavily on Instagram, TikTok, and also YouTube. How risky do you think it is to build your entire business on platforms that they don't have control of? Do you think creators should be building their own community websites, their own product, or even their own email lists?
Correct. Relying on IG, TikTok, YouTube can be very, very risky, because what happens when there is network glitch? What happens when your account is banned? What happens when your account is suspended? So as you said, yeah, a creator can build an email list, develop products, create website, and introduce your community to a website, and also create a community outside those platforms, so that whenever there is an issue, you know that network issue happens, some accounts will just get banned. A business owner will just sleep and wake up, and the next thing they discover that they violated IG rule and the account has been temporarily banned. What will such creator do? So it is advisable to build other platforms. Creators, we can build our own platform too. Yeah, we can develop products, we can develop apps too as a creator. It's very risky relying on those social media platforms.
So let's talk about personal finance, which is very particularly important, for creators, because income can become very irregular, right? So what financial habits do you think someone should adopt when their income comes from brand deals, freelance work, or digital products?
Yeah, discipline is very important. Well, for a creator, because creators have irregular income. Your money can come from gigs, from digital products, and all. So discipline around your personal money and your business money, which is the content creation journey, is very important. A creator should not mistake a 2 million naira brand deal for like, if a brand gives me 2 million this weekend, that does not automatically mean that I earn 2 million monthly. So creators needs to be more disciplined with their finance, create a boundary, set up emergency funds, and also know that a brand deal does not automatically equate an increase in lifestyle or increase in change in location. Such things can be done gradually, but discipline is very important for a creator, because 1 minute the money is rushing in, especially during the festive periods where brand wants you to represent them, and 1 minute everything is dry. So a creator needs to create that balance of discipline. Okay, and a creator can even pay themselves salary per month, so that's you know that, okay, this is the baseline, 300K per month, this is what I can live on. Any other thing is out of it. Thank you.
So what advice do you do the Nigerian professional or young person who has a valuable skill but is still very hesitant to put themselves out there, to put themselves online and also build a personal brand around it? What advice do you have for them?
Well, for the young person who is hoping to create a personal brand online but is still holding back, I just want to tell you that the more you hold back, the less we can find you. And number one thing a creator should know, a young creator should know, is that your goal is not that your first post will become viral. I read somewhere that you have to post 100 posts before people can discover you. So you don't need to dance on TikTok, you don't need to shake anything on the internet. Just educate people about a particular product, teach people about something, and so that you will be easy to find, because the less you put out yourself out there, we will not know that you carry so much value with you. And please don't because of shyness or anything withhold your beautiful gift from us. People are willing to learn, people want to know you, they want to see you go far. So please just come out of your shell and start something.
So finally, before I let you
and start from. Okay.
All right. So finally, before I let you go, how do you see the creator sector in the next, let's say, 10 to 15 years?
The creator sector is a booming sector, especially in Africa. Africa has a young range of creators. So the creators economy is here to stay, and it keeps advancing, even with the invent of AI and everything. So I want to say it's $1 billion industry. I want to borrow that word. So we need more creators, valuable creators as that, valuable ones, not people that just want to catch cruise on the internet. We need more valuable creators. The economy is a booming sector. Yeah, and it is here to stay.
Thank you so much for your time on the show, Caroline. It was really good to have you on the Business One in Life. All right. We'll be speaking to Shomoye Caroline Uluwadamilola. She's a digital marketer, content creator, and also an author. Still to come after the break, we're going to be looking at from technology to fintech, building scalable digital businesses for Africa's next economy. Do stay with us.
Nigeria, a land of boundless energy, driven by the pulse of over 200 million dreams. At the heart of this momentum stands a giant, Seplat Energy, an indigenous powerhouse accounting for a vital share of Nigeria's oil and gas output, propelled by the historic acquisition milestone with the acquisition of ExxonMobil's onshore and shallow water assets, significantly expanding its production capacity and marking its entry into offshore operations. We are the engine of prosperity, Nigeria's leading domestic gas supplier with a total gas production output of 2.7 billion cubic feet, and the landmark Ano gas project delivering first gas. We have elevated our total processed gas output to 855 million standard cubic feet per day onshore. Indeed, we have brought domestic gas utilization to new heights, powering industries and securing energy for millions. But we are not just growing production, we're growing responsibly. By ending routine flares, we are decarbonizing our operations today to protect the Nigeria of tomorrow. Our reach is expanding. From offshore gas distribution to the growth of CNG for transport and industry, we are deepening our presence across the entire value chain. Our impact reaches the grassroots. Through innovative mini-grid projects, we are bringing clean, reliable energy to local communities, fueling economic empowerment where it's needed most. We are more than an energy company. We are a partner in progress, a leader in the energy transition, a giant rooted in Nigeria for Nigeria. Seplat Energy, leading Nigeria's energy transition.
Every legacy has a beginning. Ours evolved, built on trust and carried forward as a second-generation family legacy. Bemio has grown into Nigeria's largest cash-in-transit provider, trusted where precision and reliability matter most. But we are more than movement. We deliver protection at every level, from professional guarding to journey management to concierge services. And through Bemio Polo, we reflect the identity, heritage, and standards we uphold. This is modern service. This is a legacy in motion. Bemio, your partner to safer living.
At Providus Bank, we're committed to your growth and success. You're never alone on the journey. Our personalized relationship banking is how we do things together. It's what sets us apart. We value every individual and partnership and treat them as such. We're committed to helping you grow and celebrating your success. This is your life story, your future, your forward. This is all about you. Let's move you forward. Providus Bank.
Looking for fast and reliable answers to your business and economic questions? Meet SIA, BusinessDay's strategic intelligence assistant, Nigeria's first AI-powered news chatbot. Simply visit businessday.ng, click the SIA chat icon, and ask your question in plain language. Whether it's inflation, market trends, company insights, government policies, or personal finance, SIA delivers instant answers powered by BusinessDay's trusted journalism. Smarter insights, faster decisions. Visit businessday.ng today and discover the future of business intelligence with SIA. Looking for fast and reliable answers to your business and economic questions? Meet SIA, BusinessDay's strategic intelligence assistant, Nigeria's first AI-powered news chatbot. Simply visit businessday.ng, click the SIA chat icon, and ask your question in plain language. Whether it's inflation, market trends, company insights, government policies, or personal finance, SIA delivers instant answers powered by BusinessDay's trusted journalism. Smarter insights, faster decisions. Visit businessday.ng today and discover the future of business intelligence with SIA.
For 25 years, BusinessDay has delivered credible journalism, intelligent analysis, and decision-shaping insights to Nigeria and Africa's business community. Introducing Africa's first AI-integrated website, enhanced with powerful new capabilities. At the heart of the new platform is the AI-enabled chatbot, built to help you navigate stories faster, ask questions, get summaries, and access deeper context instantly. Text-to-speech functionality, allowing you to listen to articles on the go.
The Murtala Muhammad International Airport, Lagos, has recorded an 11.8% growth in air traffic.
Whether you're commuting, driving, or multitasking, BusinessDay now moves with you. And with our new language translation feature, our journalism becomes even more accessible. You can select your preferred language, thereby expanding reach across diverse audiences in Nigeria, Africa, and beyond. This innovation reinforces our commitment to being not just a news platform, but also a smart, accessible, and future-ready business intelligence hub. As we celebrate 25 years of impact, we step confidently into the future, powered by technology, driven by credibility, and focused on you. Visit the new BusinessDay website today and experience the future of new.
I am, of course, a great admirer of the impeccable credibility, professionalism, and business savviness of BusinessDay. If you really mean business in Nigeria, start your day with BusinessDay.
BusinessDay is West Africa's leading provider of business intelligence and information, delivering premium content across diversified media platforms, including online, mobile, and print. Since its inception in 2001 with a weekly newspaper production, BusinessDay has expanded its reach to provide exclusive content accessible through print, mobile, and online channels. At BusinessDay, our mission is clear: to be the foremost provider of business and financial content, empowering readers to make informed decisions in Nigeria and Africa. Since our establishment, we have been committed to delivering insightful, relevant, and accurate information about Nigeria's business and finance environment, while contextualizing the impact of global events. We monitor the stock market, analyze the companies driving it, and report on government policies and their economic implications. From decoding market trends to dissecting economic shifts, we offer actionable investment ideas and serve as a compass for decision-makers navigating complexity. Beyond headlines, Business Day fosters discussions on critical economic issues through impactful conferences and events. These platforms bring industry leaders together to share narratives that drive innovation and spark meaningful dialogues. Our events galvanize connections, bridging the gap between inspiration and achievement. For businesses seeking visibility, our strong digital presence offers unparalleled opportunities, with millions of followers across social media and a dynamic website attracting visitors from within and outside Nigeria. Business Day is the ideal platform to boost visibility for your products and services. If you're looking for in-depth analysis and expert opinions on Nigeria and Africa's business landscape, Business Day is your guide.
Attention business leaders. Want to make informed decisions? Join the ranks of the best with Premium Business Day. Access in-depth analysis and expert opinions to stay ahead. Subscribe now at premium.businessday.ng and unlock premium content. Plus, you get 50% off your first subscription. Don't miss out. Make smarter choices and seize new opportunities. Sign up now and elevate your business game. Visit premium.businessday.ng today.
Welcome back. You're still watching Business Morning Live. Let's now move to our second conversation this morning. Africa's digital economy is expanding rapidly, but building a technology business that can move from an innovative idea to a sustainable, scalable enterprise remains a major challenge. From digital payments and financial inclusion to business technology and automation, Nigerian innovators are increasingly developing solutions for some of the continent's biggest economic gaps. But what does it really take to build a digital business that can scale across Nigeria and beyond? And how can technology and fintech companies turn innovation into sustainable commercial value? And joining us is Olusegun Enitan Dada, is the founder of IT Horizons and Zoja Pay Fintech. Good morning, Olusegun. It's good to have you on the Business Morning Live. Or should I call you OED? Like you said, okay, we're going to go with OED for the sake of these conversations. All right, now let's move to the opportunity. Let's start with the bigger picture. What opportunities do you see in the Nigerian digital economy today, and which areas do you think or do you believe are still significantly underdeserved or undeserved?
When it comes to opportunity, I believe there are still a lot of opportunities out there.
Right.
Sometimes when we talk about today, we put a lot of attention on fintech, which is very interesting and it's good because fintech has done a lot and has gained a lot of attention. However, there are a lot of areas and aspects within the Nigerian digital economy. Within Nigerian digital economy, that still requires a lot of digitalization. And with that, I can be able to say there is quite a lot. For instance, looking at my ideas working with various organizations, from all of my organizations, IT Horizons, I've come to realize that there are a lot of organizations out there, even the very big ones, that still run on manual systems. Right. They still run on fragmented systems. They have various systems whereby these systems don't even talk to each other, and their management, the executive, even find it difficult to get the required report at the right time. Or for instance, look at a lot of SMEs, and I believe you are aware that SMEs today makes a large population of our economy. There are a lot of them still currently running or looking for the right tools, the right systems that can help them to become more productive, to help them to run their daily operations easily, from finance down to people, down to even payments, and also making decisions. So those are some of the areas that you can see today. And this also cut across various other sectors, from the healthcare down to the logistics, even down to the government services. So for me, I see opportunities across various areas, across various sectors. And the key question I keep asking is, what exactly is the problem? What exactly is that economic problem that needs to be solved? And I believe the way to look at that is by digitalizing the real economy. And for you to do that, you need to take away the economic friction that is probably there and ensure that you bring in what is best to take the economy forward.
Right. Let's talk about building a tech company. That is, one thing on its own, while scaling it is another. But speak to us about the biggest barriers that are preventing this Nigerian technology businesses from moving beyond, the startup phase into a sustainable and scalable enterprise.
When it comes to barriers within the startup phase, I would say I've experienced this myself. I mean, I've been fortunate to pass through various phases in building businesses. I remember when I started my first organization, which is IT Horizon. As every founders will know, I was practically doing everything. I was the center of it all. I was probably the one selling. I was the one reaching out to customer for receivables. Basically, every decision was probably coming to me. But along the line, something was very fundamental. The same thing that probably helped a founder to start a business could also be what could hinder it from scaling. And that's something that I believe every founder needs to realize at a certain point in time to say, look, I need to build something that is beyond me, something that can outlive me, something that can function even when I'm not there. And that takes me back into the scalable, sustainable business. We need people, we need governance, we need processes, because it's not just about money. Sometimes people believe it's all about capital, but no, it's not. Capital is something that is being said a lot in our startup ecosystem. It's good, but the truth is capital does not take away capability. And there's something I've come to realize, that no matter how much you have, if you have a poorly structured business, even if you put in a $10 million, what you might have is a more bigger, poorly structured organization. So basically, for us to build enduring, sustainable business, we need to ensure that we are not just building successful startup, we are building enduring institutions. And to do that, we need to have the right set of people, the right set of systems, the right set of process and governance. And I believe when that is done, you would see a lot of startup moving into more sustainable, scalable business.
Right. Well said. Let's move to the customers now, because I've had a lot of conversations with fintech entrepreneurs, and one of the major thing is customer trust. How do you think we can actually get to convince customers to actually, move more of their financial lives into the digital platform?
We talked about trust, and when it comes to the financial services, trust is the key currency. And the reality is, it's not just even in financial services. I recently launched my book, From Ground Up, How to Build Successful Business in Africa. And one thing is very key, trust. And trust is not just about you building trust based on transaction. You also need to build trust based on relationship. And how do you build trust based on relationship? It's about doing what you say you will do at every point in time, exceeding the customer's expectation. And let me come back to the financial services. A customer gives you money. They want to be able to ensure that their money is safe. And another aspect is, okay, if something goes wrong, how do I know that there's someone behind the scene that will help me to resolve it? Because that is something that customers are seeing from the traditional banking to the fintech world. Because traditional banking, you see all the branches everywhere, you know where to go to. When it comes to the fintech, you hardly see who you are transacting with.
Sure.
So that trust needs to be built. And for that trust to be built, customer needs to understand that if they send in money, their money will arrive at where it's meant to be. And if it does not arrive, how soon is it being resolved? And if for any reason one is charging them some particular amount of money, they need to understand what that money is for. Not that today they see a debit of this, they see a debit of that, and they are wondering what is this. Or even down to their data. And thank God for the Nigerian data protection system that the government has put in place, ensuring that customers' data are also secure. So in a nutshell, for me, trust is very key. And trust is not something that you earn or because you are doing some big advertisement campaign. It's something that you build little by little. And the more you meet and exceed customer expectation, the more you accumulate it. But at any point in time that something fails, at any point in time you don't resolve an issue, you can be rest assured that it's also reducing it. So trust is very key, and I believe by delivering on what you promise, by exceeding expectations, by ensuring that customers knows what is happening at every point in time, which is around transparency, is around security and reliability, then customers will be so comfortable to take more things to the digital world.
Well said. But do you think that fintech can genuinely deepen financial inclusion?
I believe, yes, fintech can can add to it. Fintech can add to it. And I said that deliberately because sometimes we believe when we had, or when the customer downloads a wallet or has a wallet, we believe the customer is financially included. If you look at it technically, yes, but I don't think that is what financial inclusion is all about. The question is, can the customer transact much better? Can the customer save more intelligently? Can the customer be able to have adequate history of their transactions? Can that history of transaction also help the customer be able to access the right facility at every point in time? But also going back to the fundamentals, which is something that is very key and interesting to me right now, it's if a customer does not have income, can such a person be financially included? Meaning that there must be opportunities, there must be education, there must be enlightenment. So, in a nutshell, for financial inclusion to be fully achieved, it's not just on the fintech side. The government has to play their part, the various stakeholders have to play their part. There must be human and economic opportunity. And I believe when all that comes together, financial inclusion can be achieved in totality. So yes, fintech can add to it, but it also requires additional support from various areas to make that possible.
Right, let's talk about regulation now. Regulation is often, a safeguard or a constraint, especially when it comes to fintech. So how do you think the Nigerian fintech companies can innovate quickly without having to feel constrained with the kind of regulatory environment that we have in Nigeria?
I would say that from where I sit, I don't see innovation and regulation as opposites. I see them as brothers. And probably maybe because of my experience working in the enterprise space. When you work in a big organization, and when you work with big enterprises, you get to understand in time that governance, risk, compliance, you can't joke with it. Security, you can't joke with it. So going into fintech, setting up ZojaPay, makes me understand that, look, at every point in time, at every intersection of what we are doing, is it onboarding? Is it KYC? Is it at transaction monitoring? Is it at even as payments flow? It's important that we take into consideration regulatory steps. Regulation is not something that one does after innovating. It's something that one has to do as you innovate. And luckily, the government itself, the CBN, also with the framework that we have today around the sandbox, also make it easy by operating closely with innovators, by operating closely with industry experts to bring in the innovation into the sandbox, and they can be able to see what exactly is wrong and what needs to be done. So for me, I believe so much in the fact that regulatory and innovation needs to work hand in hand, because the truth is, we are talking of financial service here. We don't want to innovate so much and users' consumer protection is put at risk. But the same way also, you don't also want to put tough regulations in place whereby we are in a very fast-paced technology environment and things are backward. So I believe that needs to interpret, and they need to collaborate together at every point in time.
Right. So speak to us about the talent or the ecosystem that needs to be put in place for Nigeria to compete in the global system.
Okay. So look at that. You mentioned about the talent and ecosystem that needs to be put in place. I believe one thing is very important: talents. And trust me, Nigeria environment, we have extremely very talented people. But for us to compete globally, we need further depth of experienced talent that has operates scalable businesses. And I say this because having a brilliant engineer is not the same thing as probably building an engineering team of over 500 people, or being an excellent salesperson. It's different from building a sales business that operates in various markets. So what this basically means is that we need top-notch experienced talent that has operated at that level, because it's only then we can be able to also achieve that same level of skill we are looking out for. Another aspect is also the infrastructure, the broadband, the power, the logistics. All those things also needs to be in place, because if it's not, it also creates some additional constraint. But there's also this other aspect that a lot of people don't talk about, and which is about opportunity. And I say this intentionally because for African businesses to operate at the global scale, we need access to opportunity. If we don't have the right opportunity to be able to showcase what we can do, there's no way we can operate at that global scale. For instance, IT Horizon, we are fortunate to have customers that has believed in us, that has given us the opportunity to operate at that level. Because if not, we won't have been able to showcase that. So I'm saying this because the large businesses, the government entities, various top-notch organizations need to understand that if opportunities are not given to African businesses to be able to showcase, be able to solve complex problems, and believing that everything has to come from outside Africa, and there's no way we'll be able to compete effectively. So yes, for us to be able to achieve that competitiveness at global scale, I believe having the right experience, skill, talent is very important, the right infrastructure, and also having the right opportunity.
Let's talk AI now. We know that AI is changing how businesses operate, right? So how do you see artificial intelligence reshaping the fintech and enterprise technology in Nigeria?
When I look at AI today, I believe AI is not just a technology tool. AI is more of a productivity tool. And I say productivity because today everyone thinks about, when people talk about AI, what they think about is the chatbot. But it goes beyond that. There are a lot of underlying fundamental usage of AI that helps business to become more productive. For instance, look at the fintech environment. Everything we do today around users onboarding, financial monitoring, transaction processing is centered around AI. Not a lot of people are aware of that. And let's also take that away. If you look at the opportunity that AI will even provide to SMEs we have today, is so big. What do I mean? In the past, for you to be a startup, there are a lot of things you can't compete with the large enterprise. For example, it might be difficult for you to have an effective accountant. It might be difficult for you to have the right business analyst. It might be difficult for you to even have the right customer support team based on cash, based on capital. However, with AI, you can have this at a fraction of the cost. Meaning that SMEs can be able to operate effectively, easily out there in the market. And apart from that also is, one of the things I've also seen whereby everyone is talking about is, oh, we need to build AI fundamental models, we need to build this, we need to do that, all of those yes, it's good. But the truth is, in Africa, we have a lot of problems that AI can help us to solve. So what we need to look at is to understand our problems and see how we can use AI to solve those problems. From various issues around communication, language, businesses, even down to our operations. So there are various things that if we bring AI into it, it will help us to effectively solve. So for me, I see AI as something that is not just a technology tool, but it's more of a productivity tool that will help business and help lives to change.
All right, finally, before I let you go, Shegun, looking at let's say 5 to 10 years, because I like to project, further. So what would a successful African digital economy look like to you?
Next 5 to 10 years. I believe you might probably want to hear me talk about we having maybe a lot of unicorns.
Okay.
But however, I don't believe that will be what success will look like. And don't get me wrong though.
Unicorns, of course.
I believe yes, there will certainly be unicorns because I myself too, I want to build a global successful business. So certainly that should be there, but I don't think that success is around that. I believe success will come in when Africa can be able to operate effectively. Where you have someone either in Accra, Nairobi, or even Cairo that can successfully carry out his business with another African entity seamlessly, collect payment seamlessly, engage seamlessly, and at the end of the day, can be able to do a lot of these things without any geographical friction or problem. And for that to happen, I believe there needs to be a lot of collaboration across all the various aspects, from governments, ensuring that the various countries, that they will start adequate intra-African trade enablement that can effectively happen. Because today, Africa is not a single market. I don't think, I believe sometimes people believe, oh, Africa, it's easy, but it's not a single market. As a business today, we operate across various markets. We operate in Nigeria, Ghana, and also the United Kingdom. And I'll tell you, operating in Ghana is totally different from operating in Nigeria. In as much as, it's close by, we have almost similar cultural similarities here and there. But the truth is, when you set up a business there, you would know that things are different. The way the customer thinks is different. The way the payment or even process is different. The way things are done is different. So it's not just about you taking your Nigerian playbook, change the currency, and believe you have a Ghanaian business. No. So meaning that there is still those friction, and I look forward to a position in Africa in the next 5-10 years where we can be able to seamlessly engage, communicate, and operate effectively.
Thank you very much. Well said, I must say. Very insightful conversation with you this morning. Thank you for being with us in the studio.
You're welcome.
All right, we were speaking to Olusegun Enitan Dada. He is the founder of IT Horizons and Zoja Pay FinTech. After the break, we'll be looking at navigating Nigeria's rent crisis and housing deficits. To stay with us.
I am, of course, a great admirer of the impeccable credibility, professionalism, and business savviness of BusinessDay. If you really mean business in Nigeria, start your day with BusinessDay.
BusinessDay is West Africa's leading provider of business intelligence and information, delivering premium content across diversified media platforms, including online, mobile, and print. Since its inception in 2001 with a weekly newspaper production, BusinessDay has expanded its reach to provide exclusive content accessible through print, mobile, and online channels. At BusinessDay, our mission is clear: to be the foremost provider of business and financial content, empowering readers to make informed decisions in Nigeria and Africa. Since our establishment, we have been committed to delivering insightful, relevant, and accurate information about Nigeria's business and finance environment, while contextualizing the impact of global events. We monitor the stock market, analyze the companies driving it, and report on government policies and their economic implications. From decoding market trends to dissecting economic shifts, we offer actionable investment ideas and serve as a compass for decision makers navigating complexity. Beyond headlines, Business Day fosters discussions on critical economic issues through impactful conferences and events. These platforms bring industry leaders together to share narratives that drive innovation and spark meaningful dialogues. Our events galvanize connections, bridging the gap between inspiration and achievement. For businesses seeking visibility, our strong digital presence offers unparalleled opportunities. With millions of followers across social media and a dynamic website attracting visitors from within and outside Nigeria, Business Day is the ideal platform to boost visibility for your products and services. If you're looking for in-depth analysis and expert opinions on Nigeria and Africa's business landscape, Business Day is your guide.
For 25 years, Business Day has delivered credible journalism, intelligent analysis, and decision-shaping insights to Nigeria and Africa's business community. Introducing Africa's first AI-integrated website, enhanced with powerful new capabilities. At the heart of the new platform is the AI-enabled chatbot, built to help you navigate stories faster, ask questions, get summaries, and access deeper context instantly. Text-to-speech functionality, allowing you to listen to articles on the go.
The Murtala Muhammed International Airport, Lagos, has recorded an 11.8% growth in air traffic.
Whether you're commuting, driving, or multitasking, Business Day now moves with you. And with our new language translation feature, our journalism becomes even more accessible. You can select your preferred language, thereby expanding reach across diverse audiences in Nigeria, Africa, and beyond. This innovation reinforces our commitment to being not just a news platform, but also a smart, accessible, and future-ready business intelligence hub. As we celebrate 25 years of impact, we step confidently into the future, powered by technology, driven by credibility, and focused on you. Visit the new Business Day website today and experience the future of news. For 25 years, Business Day has delivered credible journalism, intelligent analysis, and decision-shaping insights to Nigeria and Africa's business community. Introducing Africa's first AI-integrated website, enhanced with powerful new capabilities. At the heart of the new platform is the AI-enabled chatbot, built to help you navigate stories faster, ask questions, get summaries, and access deeper context instantly. Text-to-speech functionality, allowing you to listen to articles on the go.
The Murtala Muhammed International Airport, Lagos, has recorded an 11.8% growth in air traffic.
Whether you're commuting, driving, or multitasking, Business Day now moves with you. And with our new language translation feature, our journalism becomes even more accessible. You can select your preferred language, thereby expanding reach across diverse audiences in Nigeria, Africa, and beyond. This innovation reinforces our commitment to being not just a news platform, but also a smart, accessible, and future-ready business intelligence hub. As we celebrate 25 years of impact, we step confidently into the future, powered by technology, driven by credibility, and focused on you. Visit the new Business Day website today and experience the future of news.
This is Business Week, a weekly program brought to you by Business Day Television.
And we're live from Lagos, the nation's commercial capital, bringing you the latest insight into the stories that matter for business and the economy. I am Deborah Eze.
Onyeka Valentine.
I am Destiny Momo.
My name is Elizabeth Musef.
When you think of business, think no more, think Business Day.
I know that Business Day television will go places. It is the next big thing that will happen to the Nigerian media sector without a shade of doubt.
Welcome back to the Business Morning Live Show. We're going to be looking at navigating Nigeria's rent crisis and housing deficit. Nigeria's housing challenge is becoming increasingly difficult to ignore as rising rent, high construction costs, and limited access to affordable housing continue to put pressure on households. For many Nigerians, finding decent accommodation now comes with a significant financial burden, while developers are also grappling with expensive land, material, financing, and infrastructure. So, what will it take to close Nigeria's housing deficit, increase the supply of affordable homes, and make renting more sustainable for Nigerians? And joining us to discuss this is Odunayo Ojo, is the MD CEO of UPDC PLC. Good morning, Mr. Odunayo. It's good to have you on the Business Morning Live.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
All right, let's kick off with the big picture. How would you describe the Nigeria housing situation today? And I'm asking because of the, demand for homes and also the supply available.
So, the Nigerian real estate landscape right now, especially housing, is such that there is a lot of demand-supply imbalance. As the population continues to grow, and as urbanization also grows, where we have a lot of rural-urban migration, there has been a lot of pressure on the available housing stock in the market, which has led to an imbalance in the disparity between demand for housing and supply of housing. Also, as a result of high cost of construction and the lag time that it takes for real estate development to be delivered, we see that year on year, the level of housing that is being delivered into the market versus the level of demand that we have makes it very, very difficult to keep prices in check, and also to ensure that the demand supply gap is breached one way or the other. So I would say that the combination of the high cost of construction, the combination of the excessive demand that we have in housing, and a combination of lack of delivery of mass housing has created the disparity and continues to put pressure on the housing market in Nigeria today.
Let's talk about rent now. That has become one of the biggest financial pressure for many Nigerian households. What are the key factors driving rental prices so sharply, especially in major cities like Lagos and also Abuja?
That's a good question. We've experienced astronomical increases in rental rates in the last 24 months, especially, like you said, in urban areas like Lagos and Abuja. And, we continue to see a lot of even public debate, and people wonder, is it the estate agents that are responsible? Is it the landlords that are becoming excessively or aggressively trying to increase rents? But let's look at the fundamentals, because the rental market is just like any other market where you have an interplay of demand and supply. And wherever demand increases and there is no commensurate increase. Now, because there is limited supply of rental properties, and in the face of increasing costs, you will realize that more and more people will be willing to pay higher rents to maintain where they currently are, and you see a lot of property owners also trying to recover the cost of their investment. If you look at real estate as an investment, as a property owner, and you see that the capital value or the cost of your house has increased, if you do not increase the rate of your rent commensurate to the increase of the value of your property, then you see that your rate of return for your investment will drop. So even though there is a social angle to rentals, we also need to understand that property for many property owners is a means of investment. And for them to be able to maintain their rate of return, acceptable rate of return in the face of increasing cost and increasing value of houses, a lot of landlords have had to look at increasing their rents to be able to keep pace with the rate of return. Unfortunately, that also leads to a social problem because income levels are not growing as fast as rent is growing sometimes, and it also adds to the cost of the higher cost of living. So when we see this kind of pressure, then of course it leads to a social problem where people have to move further and further away from the urban centers, and you see reverse gentrification where people have to move to places that are farther from where they work and have to pay for increased cost of transportation. And all this come together to increase the pressure that people face living in this type of communities. On the other hand, is also the reduced rate of home ownership. Because the other alternative, if you don't want to rent, is to go and buy a home and live in your own home. The low mortgage penetration, high interest rates, and
do we still have you?
The lack of long-term financing for home buyers. Also, hello? Hello?
Yeah. We are still here. We can hear you.
Okay, so as I was saying, the limited home ownership adoption is also a reason why we see a lot more people playing in the rental housing market, and thereby reducing the amount of housing stock that's available and increasing the pressure on rental properties that are currently available.
So let's talk construction costs now. We know that has risen significantly. So how are high land prices, building materials, energy costs, and also financing costs affecting the ability of developers to deliver affordable housing?
So this has always been one of the major problems for delivering affordable housing. The cost of construction is a major impediment to the ability of developers to deliver affordable housing. We first have to understand that many of our building materials are imported. And because of the low level of production of building materials in Nigeria, things like electrical, mechanical, ACs, even tiles and sanitary wares are mostly imported from other parts of the world, like China, like Turkey, or places in Europe. And as a result of that, there is always going to be transferred inflation as the Nigerian naira devalues, it also means that people need to pay more to buy these materials, import these materials, which directly leads to increase in cost of construction. Also, it's not just the building materials that contribute to the cost of housing delivery. Things like cost of access to land is also an issue. The cost of title perfection and the cost of delivering infrastructure. Sometimes as a developer, you have to be responsible for even primary infrastructure into your projects, like roads that lead to your projects, electricity, water, sewage, and all these services and utilities that in other parts of the world are provided by either the municipality or the government. Most developers in Nigeria have to be the ones to provide those utilities. And as a result of that, the natural tendency is to transfer the cost to the ultimate users or buyers of those properties. So building materials and cost of construction is a major impediment to delivering affordable housing. And there's been a lot of intervention in these areas. There's been a lot of advocacy in these areas to look at housing as a critical product in the economy, and for there to be some kind of incentives, to encourage and to ensure that the cost of building materials go down. For instance, if we say that we have a special regime for building materials coming to the country and reduce tariffs, reduce import duties, reduce taxation, even in terms of land provision for affordable housing, if we can see a reduction in the tax, a reduction in the payment of duties and charges, even from government, all that can flow directly into the cost of delivering housing, which will in turn be translated into lower cost housing and delivery of affordable housing in the long run. Also, technology is an issue in other parts of the world where mass housing has been delivered. It's been delivered also via the adoption of technology, like modular housing and mass housing building systems, which invariably reduces the unit cost of construction, which also leads to delivery of affordable housing. You mentioned energy costs. Energy costs has a direct link to also delivery of housing, because other than the cost that people pay for electricity in their homes, either through generator or through the grid, the building construction process has a lot of energy input into it. We move a lot of our building materials via trucks, and there's increase in price of diesel that directly impacts the cost of moving those products from one point. All this lead to the increase in the delivery of housing, which has become a problem for affordable housing in Nigeria.
Right. We know that Nigeria has several housing policies and also government interventions, but then the deficit still remains. So where do you think the biggest policy gaps are?
So if we look at the Nigerian housing policy, traditionally the housing policy has always been for government to intervene in the delivery of housing. So for the last 50 years or more, what has happened is that at different times, federal government and the state governments have tried to intervene in the delivery of housing. But more and more, the policy has begun to shift from the role of government being the primary source of housing delivery to a partnership between public and private sectors. And I believe that this is the right direction to go, where the housing policy focuses on enabling the private sector to be able to deliver housing but the government still has a role to play by creating the enabling environment, ensuring that access to land, ensuring that access to infrastructure, ensuring that access to the right kind of credit and the right kind of fiscal policies make it possible for the delivery of housing in a quicker and in a more efficient way at a lower cost. So to your question around what has been the major drawback or major areas of concern in the housing policy, I believe that it's just in the creating of the enabling environment for the delivery of housing via the private sector. The government is doing a lot with interventions such as the MREF for housing adoption and for retail financing. But in terms of the supply of housing, there's still a lot to be done. Developers still pay, in my opinion, too much in terms of the cost of access to land and the cost of title perfection and the cost of access to infrastructure, which makes it very difficult to deliver affordable housing. Also, in terms of just the cost of bringing materials into the country. Before we get to a point in Nigeria where we begin to produce locally, we still need to continue to import some of these materials. And if we see housing delivery as a critical sector in the economy, then I think the housing policy should also focus on giving incentives to the housing, the players in the housing sector, a lower duty rate, lower cost to be able to deliver affordable housing ultimately to the teeming Nigerians who need them.
Mm-hmm. All right. What role do you think that, mortgages, rent-to-own schemes, and also alternative financing models, what role do they play in helping the middle and lower income Nigerians access decent housing?
So rent-to-own schemes and such programs are very much welcome in order to ease access to housing and in order to allow more people come into the home ownership bracket. One of the drawbacks of this type of schemes in the past has always been the enforcement of some of our laws. I'll give an example with our foreclosure laws. It takes many years sometimes to be able to evict a defaulting tenant from a property. And if investors have had that kind of experience where it has taken them so long to evict a defaulting customer, then it becomes very difficult for them to replicate that structure in the future. So our foreclosure laws and our ability for investors to recoup their investment where there are erring subscribers is a major area where we need to strengthen. If this type of matters can be dealt with speedily, I think more and more investors would enter into this type of long-term schemes where over a longer period, people can pay for the ownership of their homes. The other issue is just in terms of the availability of long-term financing. Most of the financing that's available to developers are short to medium term. To be able to do this rent-to-own schemes, a developer would need access to long-term financing because sometimes it takes 10 years, 15 years, or 20 years for these schemes to be really effective. And if a developer does not have 20-year financing, and they have only 3-year financing or 3 to 5-year financing, it is impossible for them to now go on to extend that kind of long-term credit or long-term payment plan to their respective customers. So the availability of long-term financing, and that is where also maybe participation of developers in raising money from the capital market, raising real estate investment trusts and collective investments that extend the duration of return of capital will make it possible for them to now turn around and create products that can match the long-term desire of the customers to pay over a period of time. So to summarize, the implementation of foreclosure laws and the availability of long-term financing, if those can be enhanced and improved in our operating environment, naturally more developers will start to look at rent-to-own schemes and long-term payment plans for home ownership, which will really help more and more people access housing.
Right. We know that Lagos, continues to attract businesses, workers and new residents. But I'm still going to go back to housing supply. We know that it's not keeping up in Lagos. What do you think Lagos can do differently in terms of planning, in terms of infrastructure, and also land access?
That's a good question. Lagos in particular is unique. Lagos has the smallest land mass in terms of the states in the country, and it has the highest population in terms of people who live in Lagos. So that means that the pressure on land in Lagos compared to other states in the country is quite excessive. So, but a lot can still be done. And what I would advocate is for the Lagos State government in particular to continue to roll out the public-private partnership initiatives that it has already started. These public-private partnerships will make it possible for developers like ourselves at UPDC to access land where there is primary infrastructure, to roll out more housing units to address the supply side of the demand-supply equation where housing is concerned. Also, what the Lagos State government can do is to start looking at the schedule of fees that are related to doing business on land, in terms of title transfer, consent fees, and all the associated fees that have to do with real estate. That way, there will be a multiplier effect in, number one, the rate of adoption and the velocity of projects that would in turn also lead to the higher supply of housing and reduction of housing costs, of course, ultimately rents in the medium to long term. So I would say that the partnership between the public sector and the private sector that Lagos State has already commenced, we need to see a lot more of that leading to more activity in the housing sector. Secondly, is in also the opening up of new areas. So the Lagos State in the past has been very efficient in new towns development, and what really catalyzes these new towns is the provision of primary infrastructure like roads, like transportation links, and we've seen what the impact of critical infrastructure such as the Lagos-Calabar Expressway has done for land around the Lekki corridor. It has opened up new areas, and you can see more and more development happening within those areas, more connected now via that infrastructure and road construction. And that means that as you open up new areas with lower infrastructure, with lower land costs, you can see more developers going all the way down, and people can easily live there and work within 30 minutes to 1 hour transportation to, let's say, Victoria Island and other parts of Lagos where they work. And we can see the same thing being replicated in other parts of the state, be it on the mainland, and so on. So the development of new towns, creation of new towns, the improvement in public-private partnerships, and the reduction in the cost of access to land and the transactional cost of land, I believe in Lagos State in particular, can accelerate the delivery of housing supply to the state. The reality is that investors and developers are very, very rates sometimes can make it more difficult for capital to flow into the industry the way it needs to happen for improved delivery of housing in the future.
Thank you so much for your time on the show, Mr. Odunayo. It was really good to have you on the Business Money Life.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure.
All right, we're speaking to Odunayo Ojo, is the MD CEO of UPDC PLC. And of course, the Business Money Live show continues with the social listening segment after this break. Do stay with us.
I am, of course, a great admirer of the impeccable credibility, professionalism, and business savviness of BusinessDay. If you really mean business in Nigeria, start your day with BusinessDay.
BusinessDay is West Africa's leading provider of business intelligence and information, delivering premium content across diversified media platforms, including online, mobile, and print. Since its inception in 2001 with a weekly newspaper production, BusinessDay has expanded its reach to provide exclusive content accessible through print, mobile, and online channels. At BusinessDay, our mission is clear: to be the foremost provider of business and financial content, empowering readers to make informed decisions in Nigeria and Africa. Since our establishment, we have been committed to delivering insightful, relevant, and accurate information about Nigeria's business and finance environment, while contextualizing the impact of global events. We monitor the stock market, analyze the companies driving it, and report on government policies and their economic implications. From decoding market trends to dissecting economic shifts, we offer actionable investment ideas and serve as a compass for decision-makers navigating complexity. Beyond headlines, BusinessDay fosters discussions on critical economic issues through impactful conferences and events. These platforms bring industry leaders together to share narratives that drive innovation and spark meaningful dialogues. Our events galvanize connections, bridging the gap between inspiration and achievement. For businesses seeking visibility, our strong digital presence offers unparalleled opportunities, with millions of followers across social media and a dynamic website attracting visitors from within and outside Nigeria. BusinessDay is the ideal platform to boost visibility for your products and services. If you're looking for in-depth analysis and expert opinions on Nigeria and Africa's business landscape, BusinessDay is your guide.
For 25 years, BusinessDay has delivered credible journalism, intelligent analysis, and decision-shaping insights to Nigeria and Africa's business community. Introducing Africa's first AI-integrated website, enhanced with powerful new capabilities. At the heart of the new platform is the AI-enabled chatbot, built to help you navigate stories faster, ask questions, get summaries, and access deeper context instantly. Text-to-speech functionality, allowing you to listen to articles on the go.
The Murtala Muhammad International Airport, Lagos, has recorded an 11.8% growth in air traffic.
Whether you're commuting, driving, or multitasking, Business Day now moves with you. And with our new language translation feature, our journalism becomes even more accessible. You can select your preferred language, thereby expanding reach across diverse audiences in Nigeria, Africa, and beyond. This innovation reinforces our commitment to being not just a news platform, but also a smart, accessible, and future-ready business intelligence hub. As we celebrate 25 years of impact, we step confidently into the future, powered by technology, driven by credibility, and focused on you. Visit the new Business Day website today and experience the future of news. For 25 years, Business Day has delivered credible journalism, intelligent analysis, and decision-shaping insights to Nigeria and Africa's business community. Introducing Africa's first AI-integrated website, enhanced with powerful new capabilities. At the heart of the new platform is the AI-enabled chatbot, built to help you navigate stories faster, ask questions, get summaries, and access deeper context instantly. Text-to-speech functionality, allowing you to listen to articles on the go.
The Murtala Muhammad International Airport, Lagos, has recorded an 11.8% growth in air traffic.
Whether you're commuting, driving, or multitasking, Business Day now moves with you. And with our new language translation feature, our journalism becomes even more accessible. You can select your preferred language, thereby expanding reach across diverse audiences in Nigeria, Africa, and beyond. This innovation reinforces our commitment to being not just a news platform, but also a smart, accessible, and future-ready business intelligence hub. As we celebrate 25 years of impact, we step confidently into the future, powered by technology, driven by credibility, and focused on you. Visit the new Business Day website today and experience the future of news. For 25 years, Business Day has delivered credible journalism, intelligent analysis, and decision-shaping insights to Nigeria and Africa's business community. Introducing Africa's first AI-integrated website, enhanced with powerful new capabilities. At the heart of the new platform is the AI-enabled chatbot, built to help you navigate stories faster, ask questions, get summaries, and access deeper context instantly. Text-to-speech functionality, allowing you to listen to articles.
Welcome back to the Business Morning Live. You're just in time for the social listening segment. And of course, you know, if it's sparking conversation, then we're bringing it to your seat. Now, this is where we bring you the stories, debates, and moments generating conversations across social media. I am Deborah Eze. And now let's get into what is making waves online. For the first conversation today, Sir Rahim Okoya, son of Nigerian billionaire businessman Razak Okoya, has announced his decision to quit releasing new music, bringing an end to his active career in the music industry. Okoya made the announcement in a statement posted on his Instagram page on Wednesday, reflecting on his musical journey and thanking his fans, colleagues, and supporters who contributed to his experience in the industry. He described the past few years as a magical one, recalling performances at major live shows and the recognition he received from artists he had grown up admiring. Okoya explained that music initially began as a hobby he shared with his friends, describing it as a means of bonding and connection before it developed into a professional pursuit. Now let's take a look at some of the reactions on social media. The first reaction from Akorede, and it said, I keep telling people, if you want to be successful in the music career, have passion for it. Don't pursue music simply because you're rich and can afford expensive videos, studio sessions, and promotion. Money can open doors, but passion keeps you going when the money is gone. Another reaction from Uche Obiano, and he said, you're as rich as that and you're doing music. Who does that? You think people would back you like they did to Davido? Nah, if you have the talent, you win. That's it. Another reaction from Okemute, and he said, this is a testament that Davido is wherever he says he is. He came from a rich background, broke most of the existing records, and performed at the highest level of game, and still doing big numbers till date. Money is an advantage, but hard work and talent keeps you at the top. And finally, from Ayoku, and it says, sometimes you have to know when to step back and focus on other priorities. Wishing Sarahim all the best in his next chapter. May the experience and memories from music continues to open new doors for him. Well, this is actually an interesting plot twist that I wasn't expecting, because, you know, in my opinion, he was actually doing very okay in the music industry, and his decision to leave is, you know, is actually entirely up to him. Maybe he has discovered that, you know, there's more to him than music, and there is more to actually making him happy. Or maybe it was just an hobby, you know, maybe it was just something that, you know, he had interest in for a few years, and now he's back to doing the main thing. And again, on the flip side, we all know that the Nigerian music industry actually looks very glamorous from the outside. You know, we see everything happening from the outside, but the serious work is actually the competition and also the pressure that actually comes with the music industry. Maybe he has found another path that actually works better for him, because at the end of the day, not every exit is a failure, and I think that is where Nigerians are not getting it right. Every exit is not a failure. It's sometimes just knowing that, you know, I have to change the course of direction, I have to change what I'm doing now, and just set your priorities straight. That, I think that's just what it is. He actually gave us good music. He really did give us good music, and if he's saying, oh, this is where he's calling it quits, we just wish him all the best. Now, on the second conversation today, Okim Biscuit has announced its production after 17 years, with Biscuit rolling off one of its rehabilitated production lines at its factory in Offa, Kwara State. According to Okim Biscuit, the production line had to be rebuilt after cables, frequency drives, contractors, motors, and other electronic components were stolen. The company explained that the first production was a technical trial run and not a product trial run.
Attention business leaders. Want to make informed decisions? Join the ranks of the best with Premium Business Day. Access in-depth analysis and expert opinions to stay ahead. Subscribe now at premium.businessday.ng and unlock premium content. Plus, you get 50% off your first subscription. Don't miss out. Make smarter choices and seize new opportunities. Sign up now and elevate your business game. Visit premium.businessday.ng today. Attention business leaders. Want to make informed decisions? Join the ranks of the best with Premium Business Day. Access in-depth analysis and expert opinions to stay ahead. Subscribe now at premium.businessday.ng and unlock premium content. Plus, you get 50% off your first subscription. Don't miss out. Make smarter choices and seize new opportunities. Sign up now and elevate your business game. Visit premium.businessday.ng today.
All right, welcome back. On second conversation today, Okim Biscuit has announced its production after 17 years, with Biscuit rolling off one of its rehabilitated production lines at its factory in Offa, Kwara State. And according to Okim Biscuit, the production line had to be rebuilt after cables, frequency drives, contractors, motors, and other electronic components were stolen. The company explained that the first production was a technical trial run and not a product trial, adding that the exercise was aimed at determining whether the production line could be brought back to life after years of inactivity. Let's take a look at the video. right, let's take a look at how netizens are reacting to this story. And of course, the first reaction from Jura, and Jura said, just a piece of advice. Remember that those who grew up loving Oki are now a bit too old to be your main target demographic. So whatever you do, find ways to strike a balance that appeals to the different generations, especially Gen Z and Gen Alpha. Another reaction from Speedy Gigs Tales, and he said, I remember seeing Oki biscuits around when I was younger. If they get the taste right again, I can already imagine people buying a pack just for nostalgia. Another reaction, Cecil, and he said, I'm happy to see this. Oki biscuit was an iconic part of Nigerian history. As a child, I remember Adeshoye College was very popular because the owner was also the founder of Oki biscuit. Highly iconic brand. I wish them well. And finally, we have Ayoko, and he said, this is beautiful news for Nigerian manufacturing. After 17 years, seeing Oki biscuit production line come back to life is a huge milestone. With the right support, local industries can return, create jobs, and reduce our dependence on imported goods. Hopefully, this is the beginning of full revival of Oki biscuit and many other abandoned industries across Nigeria. And I must actually agree that this is actually a very, 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 very good one. After 17 years, the brand that's Oki has finally decided to return. And actually, it actually trigger some sort of nostalgia for me because I grew up also loving Oki biscuits as a snack as a young girl. So, but beyond that, you know, the big question now should be whether they can actually win back their consumers who have spent 17 years getting used to other brands, who have spent 17 years, you know, not getting to see them in the market. Because today's consumers, they have options, lots of options, lots of options. And Nigerian consumers that I know, they don't owe you loyalty of any sort. So this is actually really good, and hopefully, you know, they get to receive the welcome that they had over the years while growing up and before they actually shut down 17 years ago. All right, let's move to the final conversation today. Two suspects who are believed to be responsible for a robbery in Benin City, Edo State, have been nabbed by the Edo State Security Corps. The Edo State Security Corps linked the suspect to a robbery at Ima's hair shop located in GRA Benin City after the store owner reported the robbery. The footage shows the moment the male suspect held a gun and used it to threaten sales personnel before locking them in an inner room, while the female suspect grabbed about 90 airs worth millions of naira off the mannequin and stuffed them into a bag. Upon their arrest, 35 bundles of human hair were recovered from them, and the business owner thanked the security corps for their quick intervention. She explained that 3 suspects were involved and hoped that the 3rd suspect would be nabbed. Let's take a look at the video.
I don't know whether they do any kind of thing before, but they tell me say I get boss. You get where they want. You get where they want go. I can't carry them go. So if they don't do their job finish, me I carry them come back to cartel.
Okay.
And follow them.
You're not a driver. How long did you carry them?
I never carried them before.
Huh?
I never carried them before.
That your first time with this one?
To carry them.
Around which time that you go to the place?
Let's take a look at some of the reactions on social media. Of course, the first reaction from Dr. Williams, and he said he did not even shave his beard to these guys. He still carried the same beard in CCTV. Boy, you're going in for a very long time. Bon voyage. Another one from MZNGB, and he said the suspect looked at the economy and realized, say, a business get premium return on investment. Pass yahoo yahoo. They want to set up saloon by force. That reaction from Foxy, and he said, human hair theft, how much does that even sell for on the black market? The priorities are truly something else in Benin. Another reaction from Prince Paul, and he said, human hair robbers, at this point, even your frontal know they see for this country. Imagine walking up bald because somebody needed to upgrade their hairstyle. The highlights for all of this for me is the fact that the thief is actually yawning. Oh my god. But at the end of the day, theft is theft. Whether or not it is human hair, whether or not it is biscuits, theft is theft. And the fact that the incident was actually reportedly caught on camera, you know, that is where I'm going to center my conversation on. Security cameras are really important when it comes to business, and it's really amazing how with that CCTV footage, you know, it was very useful for evidence for the investigators, and yeah, it's really good. And for the thief, I agree with the first reaction. You're going in for a very long time, because at the end of the day, you cannot instill pain on somebody and, you know, expect that you just walk free from it. We understand that the economy is bad. I've said it here countless times. The economy is bad. Do not put out your frustration on your fellow Nigerian that is actually trying to thrive in the economy, trying to, like, you know, try to create a way to accommodate everything that is going on in the economy. So I'm really happy that the thief has been nabbed, and hopefully the third person in that CCTV footage would also be nabbed. Yeah, do not steal. Do not steal. If you steal, you'll be caught. All right, and that's a wrap on the conversation making waves across social media in Nigeria today. Thank you for watching Social Listening. I am Deborah Eze. Until we come your way for the Friday edition, do have yourselves a beautiful morning.
I am, of course, a great admirer of the impeccable credibility, professionalism, and business savviness of BusinessDay. If you really mean business in Nigeria, start your day with BusinessDay.
BusinessDay is West Africa's leading provider of business intelligence and information, delivering premium content across diversified media platforms, including online, mobile, and print. Since its inception in 2001 with a weekly newspaper production, BusinessDay has expanded its reach to provide exclusive content accessible through print, mobile, and online channels. At BusinessDay, our mission is clear: to be the foremost provider of business and financial content, empowering readers to make informed decisions in Nigeria and Africa. Since our establishment, we have been committed to delivering insightful, relevant, and accurate information about Nigeria's business and finance environment, while contextualizing the impact of global events. We monitor the stock market, analyze the companies driving it, and report on government policies and their economic implications. From decoding market trends to dissecting economic shifts, we offer actionable investment ideas and serve as a compass for decision-makers navigating complexity. Beyond headlines, BusinessDay fosters discussions on critical economic issues through impactful conferences and events. These platforms bring industry leaders together to share narratives that drive innovation and spark meaningful dialogues. Our events galvanize connections, bridging the gap between inspiration and achievement. For businesses seeking visibility, our strong digital presence offers unparalleled opportunities, with millions of followers across social media and a dynamic website attracting visitors from within and outside Nigeria.
Pleasure of welcoming great supporters and friends from INMA. He's the president, and then of course L. Wilkinson, and then Doreen is heading the work in Africa.
we look forward to a positive exchange of ideas and strategies to make our industry better. With me is Al Wilkinson. He's President and Executive Director of International News Media Association, all the way from Ghana. And we're happy to have him here. I'll let him tell you guys more about him and why he's here.
I would leave you with the idea about Business Days. No platform can take it. No AI can replicate it. No competitor can buy it. So here's a little advice. Defend it. Build it. Invest in it. Because folks, the decade ahead is going to belong to news organizations that are unmistakably themselves. They're not boring. They're not neutral. Who are you? Answer that question. You'll figure out the next one. Thanks a lot.
Hello and welcome to Behind the Headline. My name is Deborah Eze. Nigeria's push to expand broadband access is running into an obstacle that is less visible but increasingly costly: the fees and levies attached to deploying fiber infrastructure. Now, while the federal government has sought to reduce right-of-way charges to encourage telecom investment, operators say some states continue to impose application fees, development levies, environmental charges, and other costs. In some cases, these charges effectively undermine the intended reduction in deployment cost. And with Nigeria targeting deeper broadband coverage as part of its digital transformation agenda, the question is whether these subnational charges are making it too expensive for operators to take infrastructure beyond the major urban centers. We're being joined by Royal Ibe. She's the head technology desk BusinessDay. It's good to have you on Behind the Headline, Royal.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, yeah, let's now go straight into it. You wrote that piece, amazing piece, by the way. Now speak to us about how significant this hidden fees and also the multiple levies, how significant is it driving up the cost of broadband infrastructure deployment in Nigeria?
Yeah, so thank you for that question. So I'll take you back to why the NCC, that is the regulator, decided to come to agreement with the state governor on the need for them to reduce right-of-way fee. So initially, states could charge as high as 10,000 per meter, but then NCC saw that is really damaging investment in some of the areas, like in rural areas or in other states that return on investment is not viable. So that is why the NCC decided to sit with state governors to see how they can reduce it. And in 2020, the state governor forum agreed that they will reduce it to 145 naira rates. But then we've seen in recent time that not all the state governors have come to that terms. Some are still charging high. But with your question, even the ones that are charging 145 naira per meter, they've kind of introduced some hidden cost to it, in the sense that that's not even the fee. Yes, we're charging 145 naira, but then operators will need to pay fees like environmental fees, something that has nothing to do with rollout of that fiber. And that has really kind of made operators to focus on major cities like Lagos, Abuja, and Port Harcourt. And I don't know if you have ever traveled to some of these states that are not well developed. It's difficult for you to make call. Not talk about even browsing. So difficult. So operators are there to make money. So they focus on these states that they can get their ROI on time.
Right. And from my introduction, I mentioned that the government has actually pushed, a uniform right of way charge, but some states are yet to impose that additional fee. So why has it been so difficult for them to achieve compliance with this, across the state?
Yeah. So thank you for that question as well. So the thing is, some states see the operators like the telecom industry as a means to make revenue, state revenue. That is why some states are yet to key into the 145 naira rate. So they see it as a means to make revenue. But if you look beyond that, if you see how these telecom services are transforming your state, I don't think they should look at the money they are making, the one-time money they will make. But they should look beyond that and see how these telecom services could transform their state. I mean, there's virtually nothing we can do with that data. We use data in the hospital. We use it in, just naming education. I mean, businesses are going from physical shop to online, and they are cashing out big time. So if you really want your state to develop, I mean, you should look beyond the money you can make from the operators themselves and see how these can transform your state. And that is why some states, they've even waived their right of way. They're not charging anything at all because they've seen how valuable telecom services are to the state.
But do you think these charges are being passed on to the consumers through, higher data and broadband costs?
I don't think so, because you saw how long it took for even NCC, that is Nigeria Communication Commission, increased tariff that's 2025.
Right.
I mean, over 10 years ago. So it's the sector is regulated. You just can't pass any cost to the end user, which is in this case, which are Nigerians. No,
so
you can't.
The operators are the ones
they're bearing the
yes.
Okay. So that was the reason why NCC decided to say, okay, let's sit down, review the sector, and increase tariff by 50%. But you can't, operator on themselves cannot just sit down and increase the tariff.
All right. We understand that.
So that is why, sorry to cut you short, that's why they don't see it viable to even go to those states.
Okay.
Because of those hidden costs, I mean, fees that they have to pay. They don't see it viable to go to those states. They would rather sit down in Lagos and Abuja and Port Harcourt where they can get their money back. Yeah.
All right. Don't you think this unpredictable charges, because we've seen that Nigeria actually needs a massive private sector to invest in the fiber, infrastructure. Now let's talk about this unpredictable charges. Don't you think they are going to affect the investors, willingness to have to commit their capital?
Of course. Of course. Like I told you, it's not everywhere you get to, not all states you get to that you get a strong network. And so they will definitely prioritize those states where they can get their money on time. I mean, operators have come out to say it. There's no shame in it because they are there to make money. And so they will always focus on those states. And where Lagos may be getting a huge investment from the operators' side, other states, because they don't see how they can get their money back. So that was why NCC decided to say, okay, we need operators to go beyond these states to other states. But then the states need to sit down and agree on how much they will be charging operators to come and lay their fiber. Don't forget that telecom infrastructure investment is a huge one. And so operators are also weighing on that. If I invest here, will I get my money on time? They don't want to tie their money down, state that is not viable because they are not there to, they are there to make profits.
It's not child's play.
Yeah.
Now, do you think the government should have the power to enforce, a uniform national fee structure?
Well,
what do you think?
So that was the reason why NCC, they've been they've been negotiating with the state governors. I don't think they have the power to just impose that. you must follow the 145 naira per meter fee. No, I don't think so. And that's why they fall back to negotiation. So they've been negotiating with the state government to see how they can come to terms with that.
Right.
And some states have really, waived their right of way. In the state, they're not charging anything because they've seen how important telecom services is to that state. And then why some states they've agreed with that 145 naira meter. Yeah, but so there are some states who kind of charge it as high as 6,000 naira per meter. States like Ogun State is still charging that high fee, some 2,000. Yeah. So, but if telecom see how if they can get their ROI on time from that state, why not they invest? Even the state, like I said, the states that are charging 145, like for instance, Ekiti State, charging 145 naira per meter. But the issue is there are other hidden fees. They call it application fees, some administrative fees, up to 700,000. So if the operator doesn't see any reason, they do not see that state viable for that they are going to make their ROI on time, I don't think that's why they don't go beyond these 3 states are listed, which is Lagos, FCT, and then Port Harcourt. Because I don't think they see that they will be able to cash back their money on time, their investment. Yeah.
All right, let's look at the initiative that Nigeria is pursuing, and I'm speaking about the Project Bridge.
Yeah.
And it says it aims to deploy 90,000 kilometers of fiber across the country. Now, if the issue of fees, permits, and multiple levies is not resolved, do you think Nigeria can actually realistically meet its broadband expansion ambition?
That was the major issue that project, the bridge. Had initially. And that was the reason why they needed to sit with the state government to reason with them. These services is not just for a one-time thing. You understand? It's a means to transform the whole country. If all states click into or key into the 145 naira per meter, imagine broadband road in all the states. Meaning, if you travel to Delta State, you are connected. You have strong connection. You travel to anywhere. The businesses there are booming. Hospitals have, telemedicine needs data, strong quality internet service to be able to function properly, right? So if they see the value, they'll be sitting with them to negotiate, like the federal government, sitting with state governors to see the reason why they need to reduce all these costs, so as for them to be able to roll these services. So all Nigerians, all states, irrespective of where you are, you'll be connected to the internet and benefit from the data boom that other countries are benefiting from. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Royal, for your time on Behind the Headlines.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be speaking to Royal Ibe. She's the head of technology decks here at BusinessDay Media. And of course, the conversation doesn't end here. We've examined the key issues, explored the context, and unpacked what the developments mean going forward. Thank you for watching. I am Deborah Eze. Join us next time on Behind the Headline.
I am, of course, a great admirer of the impeccable credibility, professionalism, and business savviness of BusinessDay. If you really mean business in Nigeria, start your day with BusinessDay.
BusinessDay is West Africa's leading provider of business intelligence and information, delivering premium content across diversified media platforms, including online, mobile, and print. Since its inception in 2001 with a weekly newspaper production, Business Day has expanded its reach to provide exclusive content accessible through print, mobile, and online channels. At Business Day, our mission is clear: to be the foremost provider of business and financial content, empowering readers to make informed decisions in Nigeria and Africa. Since our establishment, we have been committed to delivering insightful, relevant, and accurate information about Nigeria's business and finance environment, while contextualizing the impact of global events. We monitor the stock market, analyze the companies driving it, and report on government policies and their economic implications. From decoding market trends to dissecting economic shifts, we offer actionable investment ideas and serve as a compass for decision-makers navigating complexity. Beyond headlines, Business Day fosters discussions on critical economic issues through impactful conferences and events. These platforms bring industry leaders together to share narratives that drive innovation and spark meaningful dialogues. Our events galvanize connections, bridging the gap between inspiration and achievement. For businesses seeking visibility, our strong digital presence offers unparalleled opportunities, with millions of followers across social media and a dynamic website attracting visitors from within and outside Nigeria. Business Day is the ideal platform to boost visibility for your products and services. If you're looking for in-depth analysis and expert opinions on Nigeria and Africa's business landscape, Business Day is your guide.
For 25 years, Business Day has delivered credible journalism, intelligent analysis, and decision-shaping insights to Nigeria and Africa's business community. Introducing Africa's first AI-integrated website, enhanced with powerful new capabilities. At the heart of the new platform is the AI-enabled chatbot, built to help you navigate stories faster, ask questions, get summaries, and access deeper context instantly. Text-to-speech functionality, allowing you to listen to articles on the go.
The Murtala Muhammed International Airport, Lagos, has recorded an 11.8% growth in air traffic.
Whether you're commuting, driving, or multitasking, Business Day now moves with you. And with our new language translation feature, our journalism becomes even more accessible. You can select your preferred language, thereby expanding reach across diverse audiences in Nigeria, Africa, and beyond. This innovation reinforces our commitment to being not just a news platform, but also a smart, accessible, and future-ready business intelligence hub. As we celebrate 25 years of impact, we step confidently into the future, powered by technology, driven by credibility, and focused on you. Visit the new Business Day website today and experience the future of news. For 25 years, Business Day has delivered credible journalism, intelligent analysis, and decision-shaping insights to Nigeria and Africa's business community. Introducing Africa's first AI-integrated website, enhanced with powerful new capabilities. At the heart of the new platform is the AI-enabled chatbot, built to help you navigate stories faster, ask questions, get summaries, and access deeper context instantly. Text-to-speech functionality, allowing you to listen to articles on the go.
The Murtala Muhammed International Airport, Lagos, has recorded an 11.8% growth in air traffic.
Whether you're commuting, driving, or multitasking, Business Day now moves with you. And with our new language translation feature, our journalism becomes even more accessible. You can select your preferred language, thereby expanding reach across diverse audiences in Nigeria, Africa, and beyond. This innovation reinforces our commitment to being not just a news platform, but also a smart, accessible, and future-ready business intelligence hub. As we celebrate 25 years of impact, we step confidently into the future, powered by technology, driven by credibility, and focused on you. Visit the new Business Day website today and experience the future of news. For 25 years, Business Day has delivered credible journalism, intelligent analysis, and decision-shaping insights to Nigeria and Africa's business community. Introducing Africa's first AI-integrated website, enhanced with powerful new capabilities. At the heart of the new platform is the AI-enabled chatbot built to help you navigate stories faster, ask questions, get summaries, and access.
I am, of course, a great admirer of the impeccable credibility, professionalism, and business savviness of BusinessDay. If you really mean business in Nigeria, start your day with BusinessDay.
BusinessDay is West Africa's leading provider of business intelligence and information, delivering premium content across diversified media platforms, including online, mobile, and print. Since its inception in 2001 with a weekly newspaper production, BusinessDay has expanded its reach to provide exclusive content accessible through print, mobile, and online channels. At BusinessDay, our mission is clear: to be the foremost provider of business and financial content, empowering readers to make informed decisions in Nigeria and Africa. Since our establishment, we have been committed to delivering insightful, relevant, and accurate information about Nigeria's business and finance environment, while contextualizing the impact of global events. We monitor the stock market, analyze the companies driving it, and report on government policies and their economic implications. From decoding market trends to dissecting economic shifts, we offer actionable investment ideas and serve as a compass for decision-makers navigating complexity. Beyond headlines, BusinessDay fosters discussions on critical economic issues through impactful conferences and events. These platforms bring industry leaders together to share narratives that drive innovation and spark meaningful dialogues. Our events galvanize connections, bridging the gap between inspiration and achievement. For businesses seeking visibility, our strong digital presence offers unparalleled opportunities, with millions of followers across social media and a dynamic website attracting visitors from within and outside Nigeria. BusinessDay is the ideal platform to boost visibility for your products and services. If you're looking for in-depth analysis and expert opinions on Nigeria and Africa's business landscape, BusinessDay is your guide.
Nigeria. This is where we discuss contemporary issues within the country, especially issues around politics. So sometimes we also look at economic and social issues. And today we'll be looking at two issues that are politics related. And the first actually is the presidential APC presidential committee 2027 election committee or election committee or election council, which has been released with a lot of controversy now. Trailing it, people are questioning the inclusion of some people and the exclusion of some people. And of course, we are hearing it has been withdrawn. We are also hearing again, no, it has not been withdrawn. And all of those issues, all of the controversy, trailing that constitution of that council is what we'll be looking at today on Reflections Nigeria. Of course, we'll also be looking at the statement by Nyesom Wike, the Minister of the FCT, former Governor of Rivers State, wherein he said that if the president had wanted to take Osun State, he would have sent him there. And people are asking questions. Is Wike boasting of his capacity for evil? Those are the two issues we are going to be looking at today. And of course, in the studio, I have two gentlemen who have always been with me, the Sunday editor of Business Day, Mr. Zeb Agomo, and of course, the assistant editor also here at Business Day, Mr. Chuka Uroko. Gentlemen, you are welcome.
Thank you for having us.
So, without wasting much time, let us look at, the APC presidential election council that has been constituted. We are hearing that council nomination of our members has been, that council has been withdrawn. But of course, again, this morning we are also hearing from the Felix Moka, the publicity secretary of the APC, that has not been withdrawn. So really, but again, what is stoking controversy has to do with those who have been nominated, who have been included as members of that committee. Of course, people are also questioning whether it is indeed proper for the president, who is a candidate in the election himself, to be even the chairman of that, of council. But Zeb, let me probably start with you because you are also the head of politics here. I mean, so let's start with you. How do you see the constitution of that council?
Yeah, thank you, Josh. You see, APC, the All Progressive Congress, is one out of the 19 political parties in the country. And ordinarily, nobody should even bother about what happens in the internal affairs of that party. Where it concerns the entire populace of Nigeria, that's where it rankles, and that's where many people are really very concerned and raising such a concern. The constitution of the Presidential Campaign Council is purely APC business. Of course, they has drawn the list, and it is that list now that is causing some problems in the country. A lot of people have come up to say some of the inclusions on the list, some of the names that appear on the list were not really okay, going by the past records of such individuals, that if someone had been accused or had been alleged to have involved in one area of corruption or the other, that it wasn't wise for the party to have included such names. So again, the inclusion of the Director General or the Executive Chairman of the Nigeria Revenue Service on that list has also been condemned, because they believe that those who have been making this condemnation believe that there was no need to draw that man into obvious politics, because he is the one who is really taking care of all the taxes being collected in the country. And those who are paying these taxes are not members of one political party. So if you are bringing his name or dragging him into that council as Deputy Director General on that fundraising, which means people are now alleging that you are saying that that service, all the money there will be open for the party to spend. So I think the party shouldn't have drawn itself into this unnecessary controversy. So there should have been places that were no-go areas. And I'm sure that's why the president or the presidency may have called back the list, because as of yesterday we were told that the list had been called back to make some necessary adjustments. And I hope that that adjustment is made, and some of those names that have elicited rancor and elicited this controversy in the polity will be expunged.
All right, thank you. But Zeb, Chuka, talking about Zeb Adedeji, who is chairman of the executive chairman of Nigerian Revenue Service. He is a member of APC, and of course, he got that appointment on the basis of the fact that he's a member of the APC. So shouldn't it be a part of effort to bring back President Tinubu, who is the one that even gave him that appointment in the first place, knowing fully well that if Tinubu does not win, he may likely not retain that position. Just wondering, because if there's anything that should be done on his part to make sure that Tinubu wins, he should also do it. I mean, so yes, internal party of the APC, Zeb said, but he's a member of the APC as well. Tinubu gave him the appointment. Chuka.
Thank you for that question. But I hope you are not on the part of trying to rationalize what is not good. Because what APC has done by drawing some individuals into the list of their campaign council is condemnable by anybody who sees anything that is wrong as wrong. Yes, the man may have been a party member some time ago, but today we know him more as a civil servant than a politician. Because Nigerian Revenue Service is not a political party affair. It is a civil service job. And somebody who is doing a civil service job shouldn't be drawn into. The person can be a party member, maybe by indirect, that is from the behind the screen, but not bringing somebody who is in charge of revenue of a whole country to be part of revenue raising, fundraising for the political party. My brother, I personally see everything wrong with what the APC did. And it goes to show how impunity can draw us to certain things that shouldn't be. Tinubu is first and foremost president of Nigeria. Agree that he's a candidate for the forthcoming election, but he has his limitations by reason of being the president. He should see himself as father of all, even going to the extent of moderating some of the things, the excesses of other political parties, because he's the president of the country. It's an interested party, yes, agreed, but the position as president of the country limits some of the things he's supposed to do as a candidate for the party. When he went ahead and said that everything is fair in politics, you remember the kind of flags that one drew from the public. Everybody who heard it actually flagged that statement. Because he shouldn't have said a thing like that, which means even on election day and people are being shot, people are being macheted and treated, he wouldn't say anything, because whatever anybody is doing that day is fair. And it's not like that in other places where people see politics not as what we see it here. So for me, there's no justification, no moral justification or any kind, whatever how you look at it, no justification whatsoever for including that man in the list of the campaign council of a particular party, where he's managing the fund that belongs to all of us. It's a commonwealth that is managing. It's not a word that is meant for APC or for any other particular party for that matter.
Okay.
So it shouldn't be part of it.
But the fact that Zach Adeliji is chairman of NRS doesn't mean that he will just dip hand into the purse and bring out money. I mean, the money is not easy. Does he keep the money?
No. Why people? Okay.
But he has easy access. Okay. Don't rule out that one. We are talking about executive chairman. Executive chairman means it's a chairman that has executive powers. Yeah. He can execute anything. And that execution includes drawing from wherever he can. So there could be checks and balances, yes, but not in this country. Perhaps in other places, it shouldn't even be brought close to that kind of function at all, because he's managing something that belongs to everybody. The tendency, because we are human, the tendency is always there for him to say, oh, we are lacking in this place. I say, my brother, come. And you said that he was appointed by the president.
Yes, of course. It was
And whoever pays the piper, he pays the tune.
Calls the tune.
So he calls the tune. He can say, my brother, come. And for whatever reason, he will never say no. Which if he says no, that's the end of the job.
So let me add here. Perception is key here. People have not seen him remove money yet. But what may happen is the reason why people are shouting already. Because these things are, both of them should not agree. This is a man in charge of a big
public money,
public fund. And now you are bringing him into another as in charge of fundraising. So that is why people are already shouting and saying, no, we don't allow that. So whatever role you may give him out. He shouldn't be there. Okay, how would you have sounded if INEC chairman was drafted to be a member? Because it was still the president that appointed him. How would it sound if the CBN
or the
was drafted Minister of Finance? So if these people were drafted to be members of this council, it will also have raised dust as well. Because these are special individuals, special offices that are meant to serve the country, not just to serve the party. So that's why.
What does the inclusion of these people, what message does it pass across?
The message many people have received from this is that people are very are acting with impunity. We don't see anybody here. We can do anything. The country is ours. And they are not looking beyond party politics. They are not seeing Nigeria as bigger than the party. They believe that that party, whatever the decision they take, if it favors their party, then everything else is okay. So that is why people are not happy about it. So it's wrong. And this is not the first time. It has become a pattern of this thing. And look at the inclusion of people who have some questionable characters. Some people who were removed from offices because of allegation of fraud and all that. So, and you are bringing them back. So this thing that continue to recur show that we are not learning as a nation. We are not learning.
But Julian, let me ask you. In the event that, for instance, Tinubu or APC, because let me even know this, because this is a party thing. In the event that APC refuses, even after reviewing, because they said they are reviewing, even after reviewing this, Presidential Election Council membership, even after in the event that the party refuses to, drop these individuals, chairman of the NRS. There's another lady, former minister of former minister of humanitarian services, and then there's also another woman from Delta State, Ngozi Olujeme, who was chairman of Nigerian Social Insurance Trust Fund under Jonathan.
Yes.
In fact, who was investigated under Buhari, and when I think she was allegedly made to refund money by the EFCC and all of that. So all of them have been brought in. And truly, these are people who have corruption allegation around their neck. But they're part of this thing now. So are we really fighting corruption? But I'm asking, in the event that APC refuses to drop these individuals, even after reviewing this council membership, what happens? Notwithstanding the noise.
Yes, Nigeria, we are kind of a very, very people with a high level of capacity to absorb shocks in this country. Nigerians have high capacity to absorb shocks. What I mean by that is that if in the event of APC insisting that, we can't tamper with these names, it will go the way of other absurd things that have happened in Nigeria. and the life goes on. But why people are shouting now is because they say, oh, as if we saw this and everybody kept quiet. We said, but nobody did anything. What has always defined ruling parties in Nigeria is impunity. It's not because it's APC today. All of us were there when PDP was in power. They were more brazen than even what we are seeing now.
Were they?
They were more brazen. Yes.
Was PDP more brazen than what we have seen?
They also did
a lot
of things that's unimaginable in a sane society and got away with them. So I think most of the things we do in Nigeria is that, this person, talking from president, this person also did it. In the days of Buhari, we saw how everywhere that mattered in Nigeria under Buhari were occupied by people from a certain section of the country.
Yeah.
And that is what is being played out in the country today. Somebody did it yesterday and nobody raised eyebrow. Why is anybody talking when I'm doing it now? You find some individuals rationalizing what they know that is not good. So what I'm saying is, what I am saying in essence is that if tomorrow APC insists that these names must remain, I don't think there's anybody who will carry placard and go outside to the streets and say, we no go agree, we no go. It will remain. But message can be sent that this is not good.
Let me come in here. You see, some of us grew up in the village where we witnessed several times where hawk will come and swoop on chicks and the hens. The mother hen will shout and shout and shout and shout. Meanwhile, the chick is gone. Sometimes you will see the agony of the mother hen. The agony of the mother hen. The mother hen is saying, I am not crying
so that I can
retrieve this chick that is gone. But I'm trying to say, let the heaven bear me witness, let the earth bear me witness that I shouted when the children were taken away. So that is exactly what Nigerians are saying. Let the earth and the heaven bear witness that we have been shouting and nobody is listening. So we are now mother hen, in a position of mother hen shouting over this.
Our chicken that is being taken away.
The chick, but the inclusion, the controversy that has trailed this presidential council of the APC 2027 election, does it have the capacity, so to say, to undermine APC's success in that election? Do you see anything around here that can work against APC?
You see,
given the noise that people are already making.
Chuka made some statement that we have seen some things that are even worse. And talking about election, we are people that easily forget. But even before the election, many people will not even remember that there was some problem in the campaign council and everything. Everybody will have gone. You see, if you remember in 2022, before the 2023 general election, when the Muslim ticket came up, everybody shouted as we are shouting now. People say, this thing can never work.
Because it can never work before.
We don't determine election results based on some of these things. Nigerians are watching, the voters are watching, but what will happen to the result of the election proper? The choice of many people may not even have to do with the list or the inclusion of anybody on the list. So, but what happened is that Nigerians are saying that right things are not being done. These things are not right. At least conscience should be able to guide us to do the right things. Whether they are capable of moderating the decisions of Nigerians, or imparting on the decision of Nigerians when they go to vote on that day. So it's a different thing altogether. So I'm not sure that going into the election, Nigerians will be bothered about who is on the list and who is not on the list. But the message this thing sends out to both the presidency and to the APC is that it is not right.
Okay. I think what I want to add here is that the Nigerian electorate, as he said, they are not sophisticated like that.
They are not.
Those who vote, as if Nigeria doesn't have a crop of sophisticated individuals. But those who make up the electorate, those who actually go out to vote, are not sophisticated people. The percentage of those who are sophisticated is not up to 5 of those who are actually go to vote.
Yeah.
So because of that, the action of an average Nigerian electorate is not predetermined. It's not based on, it's not precedent on any action that happened yesterday or statement that somebody made yesterday. It's on the spot of the moment. How much am I going to get at the what do you call that place? Polling station. Yes. It's what happens at the polling station that determines the action of
an average voter.
Yes. That depending on how much I get, maybe like what happened in Osho, we were told it was alleged that some parties were given 40,000 naira, 50,000 naira, while some were given 10, 15. So we find that this party that gave the most will carry the day. Unfortunately, it didn't work out like that in Osho, which is an isolated case. It has never happened like that before. So because of the electorates are not really they are not guided by this candidate, this party, until we start Nigerian electorates start being interrogating certain actions, like what is at stake now. Why should this party? It's like the mean evil. Like going back to what you asked about, what message does this pass? These people want to do something funny, and that's why fraudulent people, inappropriate actions are not being minded in constituting the campaign council.
Yes.
If they are bringing in the chairman of revenue council, it means somebody has an ulterior motive. It means somebody is looking at our money, and it's enough otherwise to deny them of success at the polls.
Yes.
But it doesn't happen like that.
It doesn't happen.
What happens instead is that people say, "Oh, I think we couldn't correct them. We couldn't hold them back. Let us just go to the poll and then see what they are going to do." After all, what I get today is all the electoral that there is for me in what they call democracy, dividend of democracy. For most electorates, for most voters, is what they get at the polling station.
Okay, thank you. So just so as we wrap up on this topic, Sarah, I want to ask you finally, if the APC, and of course, if the APC is now considering, as we have been told, that it's now considering withdrawing this committee, this council, and reviewing the list, could it be that the president himself was not even aware of the constitution of this council before it was made known to the public?
Let me come in. You see, we saw an incident a day or 2 days to the Russian election when EFCC swooped on or froze the account of the state government, and the president came blazing and said, "No, I didn't. Please."
He was not aware.
I wasn't aware. Please unfreeze the account. Now this time it appears also that the presidency says it wasn't aware when these lists were drawn and has called for it. So this thing had been done over and over again, and the presidency say, "I am not aware, we are not aware," and all that. So what has happened is a moral burden, and Nigerians are not deceived by what is going on. Whether you withdraw the list or not, the harm
had
already been done. The Rubicon had been crossed. So what people are alleging now is that even if you withdraw, for instance, they now arrest the chairman. So people have seen your hand.
Your intention.
That your intention. If by tomorrow you are spending more than you should spend, they say, okay, there was a warehouse somewhere where you are pulling out money in a drawing money in a house. And and they will not look very far. There's no need to do enough interrogation to say, they say it's from the NRC, this NRS coffers. So do not make any mistake at the initial time, because any sandpapering or whatever amendment you want to make,
it's an afterthought.
It's an afterthought, and many people have moved on. Not many people that saw the first list will even see the second list. So that's the danger.
And they will even conclude that
they will have drawn their conclusion.
There will be nothing different from the first and second.
Nothing.
All right, let's hope that the APC, does the right thing, given the controversy that has trailed the constitution of this presidential election committee or council. It can be right that you have people who are, public servants who are supposed to be neutral. I mean, to some extent, despite being the APC member, of course, given the position that they currently occupy. I mean, they should be somehow neutral, and even if they give their support, it shouldn't be openly seen. It's something they can do from the background. Let's hope that the party will do the right thing so that Nigerians can, again, build confidence, around the election that is coming in 2027. Well, we've got a short break now. When we come back, quickly we'll look at the statement that was credited to the FCT minister that he would have won the, I can even say he could have taken Osun if the president had sent him there. But that the fact that the president did send him means that the president did not want to take Osun State. When we come back, this is what we'll be looking at. Welcome back. This is still Reflections Nigeria, and without wasting time, let us quickly look at what it is, what may have inspired the minister of the FCT to make that statement. I don't know, gentlemen. After the Osun election, the minister of the FCT, Jason Wike, came out to say that if the president wanted Osun State for APC, that he could have sent him there and that he would have done the job. And then people are wondering, what does this mean really? What do you mean by this? I mean, people voted. I mean, are you saying that the vote of the people would not have counted, that it is not the vote of the people that could have won the election, that you, the minister of CFCT, would have won the election rather than the people? So I will start with you, because it seems that this minister is arrogating so much, I would say, is it power, or there's so much capacity to do evil, so to say, so much capacity to do evil to himself. And people are wondering we saw what he was able to do in Rivers. I mean, he has been able to, cow the Rivers State governor, and is one that has submitted now to him. In fact, has gone back to it has crawled back to, so to say. So Wike has unlimited capacity to do anything. Joker, what?
I think Wike can be seen from the prism of a short play, or let me say a drama, a full-blown drama, where you have people that you call major characters or protagonists. And these protagonists are usually what you call tragic characters. Wike is presenting himself as somebody who is tending towards tragedy. That and tragedy normally comes from either reckless statements or error of judgment. Just see what is white. You say, don't you see the red background of this television, even though it is white? So he sees himself as somebody that is invincible. Nobody can conquer him. Nothing can stop him. I watched a short video where Davido, the nephew of the governor, visited the same Wike in his house and said, we defeated you. And he said, defeated me? Are you sure? Defeated me? Okay. And the guy had to double it, according to them, and went and started hugging him. So people are even, we are the ones actually giving him that air of invisibility, that nothing can happen. By Davido's action, you can see that, oh, even though we actually won this election through fair and free voting, I think this man is still capable of doing one or two things to truncate this victory. And yesterday again, I saw a short video still where the man who won the election visited the same weekend, and they were showing dance steps. So all these things are the things that embolden a character that is drifting and everybody's looking at it. Because he may be having his way now, like any other tragic character, but nobody's wishing anybody anything bad. But one day, all this will be over. One day. Of course. Because Wike can't be in government forever. And saying some of these things and doing some of these things and getting away with them doesn't mean that he's God. One day, the cup will be full and it will overflow.
Yeah, Zeb, I mean, so you are asking, one is asking, so what do you think is giving Wike the bonus, right, to be able to do some of these things and to be able to see some of the things that he says most of the time? Is it the system, or is it that Nigerians don't bother about things like that? Is it the system that is, the system that we operate that gives him that level of, he says whatever he likes. I mean, if we watch him most of the time when he does his monthly media chat, he can say anything. I mean, today I've seen people say, look, I mean, this man is even saying things that even the president, sometimes they think that the president may not say. The kind of threats that the president may not issue. I've seen Wike several times, issuing threat to individual, and the other time he tells a former governor, okay, if you put fire in your state, if you come to where he was still the governor then of Rivers State, I'll put fire in your state if you come. I've seen him say that, Makinde, I'm interested in I'm interested in all those guys. So is it a system that encourages him to do this?
It's a system that has lost its values, and everybody believes that evil rules. And when an evil rules, like he has said, evil cannot rule supreme and everlasting. It has this unexpiring date. Wike has shown himself as a man who is capable of doing all manner of things. And he fits into a system that is a terrible system, a very terrible system, a system that has allowed him to see himself as God, and he comes and talks like God. You see, some years ago, in the part of the country I come from, a man was known to steal without restraint. He will go into your farm and harvest the cassava, harvest your yam. He will do everything, and he will come to your house and steal all your fowls, and you can't do anything. And now he was bragging. He said, in fact, you see my son, my first son, if you are talking about my own stealing, it's even a little, it's even a little one. My son own is even breeding. So his own has no part two, my son. So now that man was bragging about evil in his family. People were looking at him. Of course, nobody could challenge him. Yes. Because if you challenge him, he will visit you. So that emboldened him to come out now to threaten everybody and say, my own son self is even beyond my own. But go to his family today. It's a place nobody would dream that it should be, because it had become a desolated place. So unfortunately, Barrister Nyesom Wike appears to be succeeding. He has destroyed the People's Democratic Party, as it were, because of power tussle. I don't blame him entirely for that, because of that, for the death of PDP, because we are here, we know what has happened over time since 2022. I don't lay all the blame on him. We were here, we knew one man called Tony Anene. They were calling him Mr. Visit in PDP in those days. Today, where is Mr. Tony Anene? All those eras are gone. So now, we are in a very terrible shape as a country. And because of where we are, that's why the likes of Wike are thriving. But I tell you that they can't continue indefinitely. Thank you.
All right. Well, they can't continue indefinitely. I mean, there's always, there's always end to every era. So we are not saying that it's actually some of these things politics, right? I mean, in politics, you need to
politics. Politics. You have to.
You need to beat down your opponents and make your opponent feel that you are.
We are human beings. You have to. Yes, you see, I will conquer these states. What then? By conquering this state, you mean you upturn the decision of the people. Yes. The voters have no say.
This particular state,
it's not democracy.
If had wanted
to take,
they would have sent him.
Yes.
So he is greater than all the 15,000 policemen.
Yes, that was
30,000
NSDS.
Or everything that went there.
All the soldiers that went there, will be greater than
and indeed the Senate President led a delegation
and all
about 17
governors of APC were there. So Wike will have been there alone.
Would have just
that
was the picture of that man in the Bible that could pull the whole house down.
Okay, Samson. He will have pulled the whole house down and got the place for APC.
INEC chairman, do it now.
So when you have such characters in a country, you don't need to pray that.
The thing that's even more disturbing about that statement is that the president should have come out and said
no.
So you are my hatchet man. You are not my. You have not sent you on errand to go and destroy.
Yes.
If the president had wanted, you would send him.
What Wike is saying by other means is that 2023 that everybody is planning, 2027. That everybody is preaching, let there be peace, let there be free, fair, credible election. Let violence not happen. So everybody is speaking in vain. That's what he's trying to say.
Or even the planning is just in vain.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen, for a very insightful discussion on the Reflections Nigeria today. We hope that the politicians will moderate the way they talk, the way they carry on. I mean, we are still in a democracy. In a democracy, it is the will of the people, that should prevail, especially in an election. I mean, it should not be the will of an individual. And so, the statement credited to the Minister of the FCT, I think, is generally condemned by Nigerians. And that we hope, we believe that at least next time, we see him talk, we'll be able to talk, and with the understanding that it is Nigeria and the voters who determine who wins in an election. Yes, draw the curtain here on Reflections Nigeria. Until we come again, thank you, viewers, for staying tuned. My name is Joshua Bass.